Hello and welcome back to another episode of NWC 2022. It is definitely not the first season, it is definitely not the last season we're gonna have. And today we are gonna be seeing the first match of the quarterfinals. This match is gonna be China versus Germany. It's not gonna be a greetings from Germany. Rather, it is a greetings from France, as I am Pâturage, and the other side of the globe is going to be represented by Potassium. How are you?
Doing really well. Hyped to see these matches actually right now. We're in the quarterfinals, probably going to start to see some teams, struggle on some of these maps. They're getting harder and harder every week, of course.
Yeah, it's certainly getting spicy in terms of difficulty, and I expect players may start being in trouble, so to speak, on the maps. We've seen teams get incredible results last week, but can they hold the same results on this map pool, this terrifying map pool?
Yeah, absolutely. And another interesting thing as well is when the map pools start getting harder and harder, you get those individual performances, the carry performances start being able to come out. Players that are capable of getting extremely high scores can pretty much carry the team eventually. Maybe we're not quite there just yet because of how strong every single team is right now, but some of the score distributions, they're going to get a little bit spicier. There's going to be more misses involved. But picks and bans coming out very, very quickly here. Germany banning Fiona. It's going to be the speed map being banned out. And China setting the trend here with a quick SV2 ban again.
Yeah, I think that is quite predictable. Germany isn't the best at physicality scaling. And Fiona is definitely pushing that envelope a lot. And China is not to be slept on, especially in terms of physicality. And they're going with Ram, the speed jump stream map.
Yeah, and just quickly before we get into it right now, important to note this is a loser's bracket match as well. So the loser of this match is going to be eliminated from the tournament. And simultaneously as well, we've got 3 other matches going on in the background, so we'll try to keep you updated on those. I think those would be Brazil versus Thailand. What are the other ones?
Okay, there are 4 matches going on at the same time right now. It is absolute madness. There's Indonesia versus Hong Kong, France versus Netherlands, China versus Germany, and Brazil versus Thailand. It is absolutely insane.
That is a crazy set of matches. Yeah, there's so many player transfer messages in the Discord channel I'm in right now that I'm just trying to scroll up to find where the matches actually were listed. Yeah, huge amount of players right now playing in the MWC. We'll try to keep you updated on some of those matches. I think they'll be quite close. But of course, here, China versus Germany is going to be the one that is going to be the focus on stream right now. We're getting the players into the lobby right now. China has picked Ram. It's going to be the speed jump stream map. Very, very short pick. This is a TV size right here. So any misses are going to mean a massive amount.
Yeah, shoutouts to SUFR Live for streaming Malaysia versus France. If you want to watch that match instead, head over there. But it's going to be commentated in French, so just going to have to bear with the language for a little bit.
Okay, and in here, into the map, right away, Rebellion, Reimu, and Mia's for China. Xiewin, JK Zhu, and Maxim Miao for Germany. So, very, very familiar names for both of these teams. Been playing quite a lot of the maps so far this tournament.
Yeah, fun fact, Xiewin might actually be playing from France, actually. So, it's quite an interesting turn of events.
And actually, this lead is not very significant. China and Germany basically tied, but a small accuracy drop from Xiewin right now, down to 99.6. It's going to give China a little bit of an advantage, but Rebellion's not that far ahead.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in terms of lead right now. It's just Xiewin really making the difference in the other way. But China is not safe yet. Anything could just happen in the second half. This song is just passing by very fast.
Mistakes are amplified given how short this map is. Right now, Juxu and Reimu doing fantastically. 99.93 for both of them, cancelling each other out. It's this difference. Mia's versus Maxim Meow winning out that battle. Rebellion winning out against Xewin as well. It's giving China a slight advantage.
Alright, last quarter, last part of the song. And,
all 6 of these players. Well, they're all full comboing this comfortably right now. But wait,
no.
Is that a disconnect?
I don't really know what happened to Maxim Meow, but it would have been a loss for Germany regardless.
Yeah, with China, there was no accuracy drops from China, no combo breaks. 5 200s total, and you look at these ratios from Juxu and Reimu, 997 for both of them. But yeah, China's team score, if you calculate it up with these players, I think it was a guaranteed win for China, even if Maxim Meow got a 1 million somehow.
Yeah, that's...
yeah, unfortunate disconnect.
Yeah, it seems that Maxim does not even know what happened on their end, so it might be some internet issues or something.
Yeah, it could be. They do happen from time to time, but it was... I don't know whether to call that unlucky or lucky. Kind of a bit of both in a way.
They are pretty eventful. And it seems that nervousness is a rather common theme. It's a rather common theme in tournament settings, but we do see them uttered very, very explicitly in the chat.
Yeah, China's first pick working out for them in the end, although a little bit close, I would say somewhat. It is now Germany's time to pick, and I wonder what they're going to go for. There is the SV pick up that they could decide to go for, given that China banned Marinol.
Yeah, it's worth noting that China is both scary. Well, China has shown why they are scary in the Rise department. Now, as far as LN goes, in Hybrid, they are also scary, so SV is one of the unknowns of this match, for sure.
Yeah, especially when we're getting into some of the harder SV maps to be able to play. Always brings in that much more uncertainty, right? Like, even though we've seen some SV scores from both teams in the past, SV scaling is something that, you know, you can have a whole multiple-hour discussion on, and you never really know how players are going to perform on it. But it's going to be the LNs either way for Germany that they're going to try to attack against Team China.
Yeah, I think that's a fair strategy. You do not have much other choice than to go with anything that you can think of to get a point against China. I feel like getting some information about how each respective team is actually scaling on the long nodes is a good strategy to go for. And wow, that's a lot of MP links. I've never seen that many MP links in one message.
Yeah, they're really stacked up there. Make sure you go check those out while we're playing these ones. Right now, I believe the only other map that's been played has been Brazil versus Thailand, with Brazil winning an early break point on Desperado Waltz, which we're about to see right now.
Well, Demi-Fiend with the 164 regular V1SS on Desperado Waltz. We're gonna see if any of the players here can rival that, but
yeah, I mean, it's hard to really contest a 997k on a quarterfinals LN density pick. Definitely a lot of these players are very, very strong. But Demi-Fiend is one of those, you know, kind of best LN player in the world contenders.
Okay, France is leading 1-0 against the Netherlands, also on Desperado Waltz.
Okay, we've got 3 matches playing Desperado Waltz then, early on, seeming like a popular pick so far at least.
Yeah, it seems that Brazil vs. Island is also playing Ram, so not much song variety in the field.
Yeah, so we'll see how it ends up working out for Germany here. We're seeing the same 3 players for Germany, but China subbing in Mafufu, one of their LN players on the team.
Yeah, it's quite rare for teams like Germany to go the exact same lineup for Rice and long notes.
Yeah, definitely. And so far, at least, it's looking okay for Germany right now. A little bit of an advantage out of the gate just in this accuracy department. Reimu dropping down a little bit to 99.6 now. Ooh, a few more 200s there from Reimu.
Oh wow, this sounds like a pretty good choice from Germany.
Oh, just as you say that, flickering over to China a bit, a couple of 200s from Germany's side, from Max and Meow in particular, it looks like. But the map is still yet to show its harder sections.
Yeah, I think the later health is going to matter a lot. It's going to decide which one of those teams is going to take the lead, and it's going to take the points, really.
Especially with accuracies this close or across the board, it's very, very tiny advantages for Mias and Mafufu over the German team. That's really giving the Chinese team the smallest of leads right now.
Yeah, gotta keep the focus. No! Max and Meow did not keep the focus and broke the combo, and it's gonna be very detrimental to the German team on their own pick.
Yeah, big impact to have a miss like that when 5 of the other players are still holding FCs. Max and Meow finds another miss as well. China's going to be running away with a bit of a lead now. We're already towards the end of the map.
Yeah, China is still strong in terms of combos, so that is their lead intact for now.
Yeah, all they need to do right now is keep these combos up. The accuracy is not going to matter too much with these combo leads that they have, and it's towards the end of the map. There's not that much time. Germany's going to want China to miss pretty soon.
Yeah, we're reaching towards the last notes of the map, and there's not going to be many chances for Germany to catch up, even with this miss from Mias.
Yeah, rough trill at the end from Mias. That was a few 50s involved there that I saw as well. But it was just too late in the map at the end of the day. Look at all these scores are so similar. The 980k range for every single player, except for Maxim, who unfortunately dropped a couple of those unfortunate misses in the second half of the map.
Wow. It's quite interesting. It doesn't really give any information on which team is really more comfortable on the other long note or hybrid picks. I feel like Germany is okay with this breakpoint going away to China.
Yeah, I mean, looking at these scores, really, if Maxim didn't find those misses, it's very reasonable to assume with that accuracy, Maxim would have gotten around 980k, a little bit better. I think that would have been basically tied the score difference without those misses from Maxim. But always hard to be able to tell at the end of the day. It is China winning 2-0 up so far.
Brazil is up 2-0 against Thailand. Brazil also won on RAM with a 997, 997, and 996 triple score.
Man, that's just flexing. Not even just 996, that's almost a three-way 997.
Yeah, almost three-way V1SS, and some of those ratios are nasty. From Oros and Lotus, there were 58 and 59 300s, respectively, and they have 1 200 each. Anyways, back to this match, we're gonna go to Ego, one of the technical picks of this map pool.
Yeah, China sticking at it with these Rice maps. This one also very fast, 271 BPM, and has a lot of that jump streamy type patterns, but obviously much more technical than RAM was.
France is up 2-0 against the Netherlands, winning on Justify My Love just now. And Hong Kong is up 1-0 against Indonesia on Peta Peta, the long note coordination pick.
Finally a different long note map being played in one of these matches. Yeah, solid win for Hong Kong there. But here we are into the third map of this match here. Once again, no switches for Germany, but we're seeing how do you pronounce that? XZ for China being subbed in. So more players being subbed in for China, swapping around their players. And so far, early on in the map, no major difficulties in accuracy. Siewin dropping down to 99.4. It's going to give China a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, I think Germany is still close enough to the Chinese accuracy that if China were to miss, Germany would have a fair chance at taking a point back.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see this bar is very, very small in the favor of China. The accuracy is being kept close. Juxu right now, 99.87. Basically matching Reimu as well. So that's keeping the accuracy is still very high overall for Germany.
Yeah, Germany is actually gaining accuracy throughout the map, which is very, very good to see. Especially since China is staying kind of stagnant in terms of accuracy.
Yeah, definitely. Maxim now, even with XZ, it's just Siewin and Mia's having that 0.1% accuracy difference, and that's really it between these two teams. That's a very, very small accuracy difference. A couple 200s, and Mia's, I think, dropped a little bit there.
Oh yeah, it's still looking very challengeable by the German team.
The end of the map now, still 6 full combos. 200 rushes on these bursts could definitely swing the lead, but right now China is looking very consistent. And it's going to end with 6 full combos across the board, only 5,000, less than 5,000 points difference between the two teams. Juxu's ratio, 97.
Wow. That's a really clean lobby performance. 6-way full combos and very close accuracies, all things considered. Like, China cannot rest one little bit. If China were to miss even once, the score would be a little bit different right now.
Yeah, like, look at these ratios between the two teams. It's slightly in China's favor, but not by much at all. Like, very contestable from Germany. But unfortunately, just not managing to win the points at the end of the day. Coming very close in accuracy though. And now Germany get their own pick. They're going to need to put one on the board soon. They're going for Daisy Cutter, another LN map.
I think that's a wise decision because considering how close Desperate Waltz went without the misses involved, I think Daisy Cutter is a very sensible choice.
Just an update as well, Brazil versus Thailand. Thailand losing another break point by 1,000 points on Summer, one of the hybrid, very, very close map there.
Oh my god, that's such a close call, oh my god. France versus Netherlands is also playing Daisy Cutter. Hong Kong versus Indonesia is not playing Daisy Cutter, but rather NP Addiction.
NP Addiction coming out there. The Jump Stream Stamina map. We might see that one on this stream fairly soon if China keep going at the rice pool as we've been seeing.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of stamina, they might be mindful of Germany because given how close Ego went, I feel like something easier in terms of physicality, in terms of speed for Germany is going to be risky for China. So maybe China wants to maybe have a look at some of the harder hybrid picks because some of those hybrids are downright nasty.
Yeah, absolutely. Hybrids have definitely gotten a pretty large step up, I feel like. As well as the LNs, really. Daisy Cutter. Definitely a very difficult map with 1.1 especially. And we'll see how all 6 of these players perform here. We've been seeing quite a lot of full combos for both teams so far in all of these maps.
it's also worth noting that we are seeing the same 3 players on the German side as really throughout the entire match.
It definitely does seem to be their core at this point. Maybe the map's getting this hard, there are 3 core players for the German team. So far, it looks like Germany has a very slight advantage. None of the accuracies are really that low, though, for either team.
Oh, it is very brittle, though. The lead is very volatile. It goes left and right, left and right. And there's no definite consensus currently as far as lead goes.
Oh, but here we're getting into a little bit of a slower section. It looks like Germany has a little bit of a lead, but that lead in quotation marks. Siewen dropping a few 200s now, but Germany still holds a little bit of a lead because Raymond Mia's also with quite low accuracies relative to some of the other players. I mean,
oh, no.
they're all at about 99.6 right now, all 6.
Oh no, Germany cannot let up. Like, the 2 bottom players might have the advantage in terms of accuracy, but China is actually catching up really fast. Mapflipper is actually catching up actually lost some accuracy, was actually ahead of Jigsaw for a little bit, but not too long. But hey, is that a break from Max and Miao, actually?
Yeah, there was a break earlier from Max and Miao dropping down. Miaz finds a trade, and now this lead is going to go very small. It's going to flick to Germany's side, actually, at the very last second. And wow, I think they managed to hold it. Oh, less than 1,000 points. 790 points in favor of Germany. That miss at the end from Miaz, really unfortunate timing. I think if that miss was like a second later, then there wouldn't have been enough time for Germany to come back. But they managed to clutch it out in the end. MVP here being Juksu, 99.68, not dropping accuracy at all in that second half.
Oh, that's a beautiful run from Jigsaw right here.
That's exactly what Germany needs. They're on the board now. They're in this match. They're only 1 breakpoint behind. So even though it is 3-1, it's really only 1 breakpoint that Germany needs to win, and they'll come right back in this match.
And considering how Ego went, it's perfectly reasonable for Germany to expect a breakpoint on something like NP Addiction, or even Justify My Love. Like, Justify My Love, this is the first Court Jack map of the entire tournament, and I don't think there's any information.
Yeah, it's risky. Justify My Love, as you said, it's a new map, new type of map we haven't seen so far. A little bit blind from China. I'm not sure if they're going to want to be able to pick it. Break-in rules, very, very easy to break combo on. So that's also a risky map in and of itself. But it's going to be the hybrids now that China are saying they don't really want to fight on the rice anymore. Let's try out a little bit of a different genre of map here.
Yeah, they're going with Azure Vixen, arguably one of the most physical hybrids of the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. All 3 hybrids to some extent are quite physical as well. So a little bit of unknown territory so far in this match, but we have seen Germany keep up with China in both the Rice and the LN so far, so maybe China, they're trying to find more of an avenue maybe they would have a little bit more of an advantage on. And we're seeing once again another unique swap from China, I think, Sunny coming in.
Yeah, I feel like the Chinese team is very, very versatile on different types of picks, whereas Germany is really the 3 same players from the beginning.
Yeah, so yeah, China's had the same 2 players on the bottom, but they've had Rebellion at the top for the first map, then Mafufu, then XZ, and now Sunny. So they've rotated through 4 different players on that top slot. But for the first time, it looks like Miaz is going to be taking a bit of a break. Rebellion coming back in. So yeah, China having that deep roster, they're going to be able to rotate out players a lot more, it seems like. And as the match gets longer and longer, this may play into China's advantage a little bit, being able to give some of their players a rest.
Yeah, speaking of, I think the Netherlands is also in the same situation as Germany. The Netherlands have kept their three players, like the three same players for the entirety of the match. It is right now 4-0 between France and Netherlands in favor of France.
5-0 right now in favor of Brazil against Thailand. Brazil showing a very, very clean performance right now on match point.
What is the sloppy performance on Daisy Cutter? 993, 992, 992, 994, 991.
Oh my god.
The worst scores from How to Play LN.
Man.
The worst scores from How to
That's
Play LN.
crazy. That's crazy. The winners bracket right now is a very, very difficult place to play in for all teams. But
yeah,
here we are.
I get a feeling that as hard as those maps are to the common people and to the losers bracket especially, like the winners bracket is just like breezing through it.
Here we go. We're seeing Azure Vixen here, hybrids for the first time, and as with all these maps, it's starting out very close. All 6 players looking like they can play this fairly well. Xiaowen dropping down to 99.1 though. A little bit of an accuracy drop on some of those bursts.
So far it looks very challengeable for Germany right now. One miss from the Chinese side and it could spell doom. And this map is very, very chokeable. I expect many misses.
Oh, and just as you say that, Xiaowen finds the first miss for Team Germany. Didn't drop down the accuracy that much though.
Yeah, it seems like it's a bit closer. It's a bit of a closer battle in terms of accuracy than the other rice picks, like other rice picks, because the long note element. The long note elements might matter more than one thinks.
Yeah, and all Rebellion. That's a really, really messy miss. Several misses and a lot of accuracy drop down to 99.09. Now lower than Xiaowen.
Oh,
and now with Juxu tying Reimu, Maxim Meow is higher than Sunny's accuracy and Xiaowen higher than Rebellion. Germany, they have the accuracy lead.
Oh, this is their chance to take it back, actually. And this is one of the breakpoints they need.
Yeah, this is a massive opportunity right now for Germany to be able to come back in this match, but there's still about half of the map left and so many choke points.
Oh man, going into this last quarter, it is absolutely crucial that everyone keeps on their toes.
This ACK lead is actually increasing for Germany right now. Sunny and Reimu dropping some accuracy. Juxu now the highest in the lobby, cleanly, and Rebellion.
Oh my god!
Multiple misses for Rebellion. Now Germany can afford misses of their own.
Oh my
Another
god!
one coming in. This is going to be it. Germany have a very, very strong lead now.
This long note section is actually doing work against China right now. I think that strategy-wise, they might have to be careful on the remaining hybrid picks, because this is dangerous. If I were China, I would not really go for something like Summer.
Yeah, this did not pay off for China, this pick, and Germany, they win the breakpoint that they were looking for. They are back into this match 100%. They get the next pick, and if they manage to win it, they'll be able to tie up the match completely.
Oh yeah, if Germany goes with something they're more comfortable with, maybe it's going to be the remaining long note pick, Peta Peta, or one of the hybrids, maybe Summer actually.
Yeah, you know, like if they're feeling spicy, if they think that they can beat China again on a hybrid, there's still 2 left.
And then there's still the SV. If Germany's feeling confident on the SVs, I know they have a nasty roster. If they're feeling confident on the SV, they might go for it.
They've got it.
Oh yes, let's go!
SV time, first SV map we're going to be seeing this round on stream. Line Zeta, the one that we're going to be expecting to see in most matches.
I am so hyped to see this. I'm so hyped to see this. This is a complete unknown. I have no idea of how these teams are going to perform.
This one is quite a reading challenge as well. I would say it's not too difficult to combo through, but accuracy is hard.
Yeah, like it might be at OD6, but it was at it is at OD6 because otherwise it would be an actual nightmare to go for accuracy on it.
Oh, absolutely. It's already hard. It does not feel like OD6 at all. These rhythms are not very straightforward.
Not at all, not at all.
Oh no. Oh no, Brazil just played Justify My Love. 999999998.7. Oh my god.
Oh my, what are those ratios?
You can't do this in quarterfinals. Oh wow. Yeah, everyone go have a look at the MP link for that match, Brazil versus Thailand, that last map. That's illegal.
Yeah, I feel like 999999 is basically Germany's reaction if they see this
hang on.
MP link.
Hang on. The highest 300 count on Germany not Germany but Brazil's team on that map was 38. That was the highest 300 count. That doesn't even, like, I can't even comprehend that. But there we are, Brazil, everyone, managing to win against Thailand in a clean sweep.
Clean sweep, but like Thailand is not even a bad team. They're one of the strongest long node teams, for example. I'm just speechless.
Yeah, Thailand is crazy strong. Yeah, right now we are going to see, here we go, the SV map starting between China and Germany. Germany's pick here, so they're going to be feeling at least a little bit confident on their own performances. But there's not much information to go off of for both teams.
Yeah, speaking of which, France and the Netherlands have played this map as well. Full lobby, full combo, and a win by 2,000 points from France.
Right now, it's looking like Germany has a little bit of a lead. Sunny dropped in quite a bit. Oh, that was a rough 200 on that chord from Sunny, dropping below 99%.
Yeah,
Germany's
right
going to
now,
hold this accuracy lead.
Germany feeling very confident on this pick with Punish and Maxim Miao actually carrying those teams. Maxim Miao with the accuracy drop, it's going to be very visible as we are not far in the node count.
Yeah, Punish and Maxim Miao getting a few 200s. Medium Keck dropping now down to 99.2, with Sunny recovering accuracy a little bit. XZ and Maxim tied. Mafufu and Punish tied as well. Medium Keck is just a little bit above Sunny, and that's the difference between the two teams. 200s from Germany, that's going to give it over to China.
Oh my god, this pick is actually really tough to watch because the combo doesn't even matter that much. It's all in the accuracy.
Medium Keck gets a few 200s on that stream just before, dropping below 99%. Now China misses. Sunny.
Whoa!
That is a really unfortunate miss there. This is a very low note count map. Misses are massive, especially when the accuracy lead is this close. Germany at this point, if they hold on to the combo, they should be able to win this point pretty cleanly. Accuracy is a little bit actually in China's favor, but not by enough to counteract that miss.
Yeah, I mean, if Germany drops a lot of accuracy, we might see the lead go towards China, but wow.
It's still possible. Oh, this is too close, actually. Oh, this lead is close.
This is very scary to watch, even with the combo.
Oh my god, China's gonna take it back a little bit. The 200s from Germany coming out in the LN section, and it's tied. Who knows?
What?
Oh my god,
it's going on?
But it looks like Germany hold on to it just less than 1,000 point difference again.
No way!
900 points exactly in favor of Germany, even with the miss from Sunny. The accuracy from China. XZ almost carrying that the entire way.
Oh my god, we had absolutely no way of figuring out where this was gonna go. The miss from Sunny was actually really a turn of events that really went to the advantage of Germany. It was a little bit lucky from Germany that it went the way it did.
Yeah, and now this is exactly what Germany wanted. 3-3, it's tied up. Now China, they've lost. They've lost a few maps in a row now. This is getting dangerous for them. Momentum definitely in Germany's side, even though, you know, a couple of those Germany wins were by less than 1,000 points. It's going to impact the morale quite a lot for both of these teams.
Wait, Hong Kong is actually leading 3-1 against Indonesia.
4-1 now, actually.
4-1, okay.
After picking up a win on Line Zeta. So actually, that's the lowest seeded team in Hong Kong, showing some actually extremely good consistency in team scores.
Yeah, that's what can happen in the losers bracket. Some teams just go full reversal and go full underdog and just scale differently.
Oh wait, no, it is 3-1. You're right. The Discord post was wrong, I guess. That's how it goes sometimes.
That's how it do be sometimes. But here we go. We're gonna go for NP Addiction. In my opinion, this is quite risky from China. But at the same time, the other picks, like, you don't want to pick long nose. You don't want to necessarily pick hybrids. And among the Rise picks, I would have gone for the technical picks. But okay, NP Addiction might not be as bad as I think.
Yeah, this one, it's more straightforward, closer to RAM in terms of structure. Not too technical, but yeah, we saw some pretty close accuracies from both of these teams, but China did end up taking RAM. So if they manage to pull off a similar kind of accuracy lead on some slower jump streams here, then this could definitely be a positive pick for China.
We're just gonna have to see. 3 minutes and 15 seconds. I think accuracy is gonna matter a lot, but combo breaks might make or break a team.
Looks like Maxim Meow's being subbed out right now for Punish, who's staying in after Line Zeta.
That's an interesting switch. Because Maxim, you would expect Maxim to be one of the leads in terms of, I guess, stamina, consistency, and accuracy as a whole for Germany.
Yeah, definitely an extremely strong accuracy player, but we'll see how it ends up playing out now. This is fairly long map, over 3 minutes long, and a lot of it is going to be non-stop jump stream. So far, both teams basically tied up. No large advantages either way, but we still haven't got into the mainstreams just yet.
Yeah, we're gonna see the actual trend once the actual jump stream go.
Here we go. China starting to eke out a little bit of an advantage. Punish and Xiaiwen both dropping accuracy, a few 200s here and there. While China, their whole team staying consistent within this 99.8 zone.
Wow, absolutely no signs of weakness from China right now.
Yeah, Punish dropping a little bit more accuracy down to 99. Now China have a very, very solid accuracy lead. And yeah, they are feeling comfortable on this one. This is a much needed advantage that they haven't seen in a while.
Oh,
and Punish finding a miss there. It's going to be a bigger advantage for Team China now. All three of them actually improving their accuracies. Remu 99.9. Lowest accuracy being 99.82 on Team China. That's hard to contend with from Germany.
Yeah, there's a huge lead for China right now, and gonna be very hard for Germany to manage to catch back up to this kind of accuracy. This is an incredible performance from the Chinese team. But yeah, NP addiction is actually quite tricky in its polyrhythmic focus in terms of jumps.
Yeah, absolutely. And very long stream sections now coming in. Any kind of stamina that might be building up for these players is definitely going to start showing now. But China, oh, Mia's actually finding quite a few 200s there. But ultimately still going to be a very, very large accuracy lead for China.
Yeah, Mia's with the really high scroll speed, and when you compare it to Punish, it's actually a little bit jarring.
Yeah, pretty big differences in scroll speed there. At the end of the day, this is very clean win for China, the first one in a while. Five full combos overall here, it looks like.
Oh,
okay,
with the ending.
That wasn't a curse. That wasn't one of the full combos, thankfully.
Oh, Jixu and Reimu with both really clean scores, and also shout out to Sunny. Wow, V1SS is on this. It's really a great showing of consistency, but unfortunately China is going to be having more consistency than Germany. But I guess that's how it goes. It is China's pick, so...
Very solid win for China there. China's own pick, they finally won one after 3 in a row for Germany. But now, Germany haven't lost it just yet. Of course, they're still very much in it. But they are going to have to win their next pick now. 1 LN map left, Peter Peter. And 2 hybrids if they want to go to those.
Oh, wow. The Netherlands are actually catching up to France at 2 points in a row on the hybrids.
Yeah, actually, a lot of these matches that are happening right now are starting to get close. Hong Kong and Indonesia currently 3-2 in favor of Hong Kong. Indonesia has been catching up after a few points in a row at the start for Hong Kong.
Is this the sign of comebacks? Is this the sign of comebacks? Is Germany gonna also do a comeback? Well, arguably, China and Germany are in a status quo right now. They're in correct equilibrium, and they're gonna go with Summer. I feel that that's a reasonable choice. I'm not sure if in the combo department it's gonna be entirely safe, but we can only hope.
Yeah, they did win. It was their best win just before on one of those hybrid maps. So Germany hoping that hybrid is, one of those avenues that they can start getting a little bit more points against China on. This one in particular, a lot of mini jacks, a lot of LNs. So combo game is going to matter quite a lot here.
Germany back to their usual roster: Maximiao, Jixu, and Shaiwen.
Yeah, Max and Meow actually, after sitting that one out, is going to be probably a little bit recovered, a little bit less worn out than before. So maybe also that map was a good opportunity to give one of German players a rest, because they have, as we said before, they have been playing everything.
Yeah, arguably it's been the case for some Chinese players as well. I think Reimu played most, if not all, of the maps.
I think Reimu's played every single map, yeah. So the stamina aspect may start to come in for players like Reimu. Juksu has been in for every map, as well as Xiaowin. But here we go, another one of these hybrids. We'll see if this ends up favoring Germany. Right now, Xiaowin dropping accuracy just a little bit, down to 99.0. That's going to give China a little bit of an advantage, but not too much.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see if the accuracy is actually stabilizing on Xiaowin's side, but it's not going to be so straightforward.
Oh, Mia's finding a break on one of those mini jacks, it looks like. But the accuracy is still in favor of China. That was a very clean break, no big accuracy drop. Germany, it looks like they're going to be able to take the lead nonetheless off of that.
Yeah, this is only the beginning of the map as well, so it's pretty much a precursor for the actual map.
Germany's going to start having to build up their accuracies a little bit if they want to be able to keep this lead, because we can already see Mia's is back up to above 400 combo, and the lead is tiny. It's going to start shrinking unless the accuracies start getting closer.
Here we go in the drop, and Raymond immediately drops.
1 full combo against 3 right now. Max and Meow actually trades that right away, but it's a very, very clean drop. Raymu's came with quite a significant accuracy drop. Skywin now finding a miss. And now China's going to start taking the lead.
Yeah, it actually starts trading right now, and this pick seems very volatile for both of the teams.
Oh, Mia's finding a miss. That could be enough for Germany to be able to take it back. It's really close, but they need to hold on to these combos. There's a little bit left of the map. And it looks like Germany's going to start taking the lead here. Mia's reaching 400 combo now, but it looks like Germany just managed to win 1,000 points again. 1,043. How do they keep getting away with it?
Oh my god, that was very unnerving to see, because yes, Mia's was building combo back to the 400 mark, so I was expecting the lead to go towards Germany a little bit. But if Germany lost even more accuracy than they did, it would have been towards China still. It is very scary to watch.
Oh man, look at these scores. Look at how close they are. Everyone right now. Jixu is the one that's putting in so much work. 988k, clearly above everyone else in the lobby right now, and it's keeping them in 4-4 now. Both teams, they have 1 pick left.
Yeah,
they're guaranteed to both have 1 pick.
Yeah, I feel like the dynamics between each team is quite different, with Jixu being an absolutely consistency pillar of Germany, and China being more homogeneous actually.
Oh, and here we go, Justify My Love. China's taking a risk here. It's going to be the Cord Jack map.
Oh, I don't know how that's going to go, because Punish is actually going to be coming in instead of Saiwin.
Yeah, this Jack, Cord Jack is one of those kind of skill sets where, especially at BPMs like this, 140 BPM at this density, it's either you're comfortable on it and you can play it, or you cannot. And if you can't play it, you're going to have a rough time.
Wow. If you are tuning in right now to this 4-4 match, this is not a classic 4-4. There has been some back and forth between the teams, but it's not like the usual back and forth. It's very ambiguous. It's a very interesting match so far.
In the meantime, it does look like France has managed to close out their match against the Netherlands 6-2. But in the meantime, Indonesia versus Hong Kong is tied up 3-3, so still 2 dead even matches happening currently.
Oh god. If we're having 2 tiebreakers at the same time, that's gonna be a little bit of a...
Oh, that's the dream. At the very least, though, it looks like Indonesia versus Hong Kong are 2 maps behind this match, so... there's always the possibility we can have a tiebreaker on stream and then immediately switch over to another tiebreaker.
Wow. Tiebreakers back-to-back in commentary. Imagine.
The ideal situation there.
Yeah, just
we'll have to see it. Have to see both of these teams here win their own picks if we want to see a tiebreaker, or win each other's picks. We'll see a few swaps coming in here.
Yeah, just the usual in the background, like behind the scenes match fixing, Just kidding, there's no match fixing. Anyways, let's get that information.
my god, Germany off to a little bit of an accuracy advantage. But Punish dropping an accuracy, so is Rebellion actually. Dropping quite a lot, both of them. Rebellion finds an early miss. That's going to give Germany a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if Rebellion is totally comfortable with those, with some of those triple anchors.
Look at Juxu and Max and Meow right now. 99.96, 99.94. Raymers and Sunny are both holding 99.9s as well. It's very close between these two teams with that one miss. Right now, it's what's deciding it. Germany has a little bit of an accuracy advantage as well. Here we go into some denser patterns here. All 6 players holding on.
Wow, we have two machines per country right now. Like two players above 99.9 on China's side.
Maxi Meow drops accuracy down to 99.83. Still with the full combo, but it's going to mean that Germany's accuracy lead is a little bit smaller now. They still have that miss going for them though.
Yeah, Punish has a big role in Germany's team. They might be the third player, but the third player is as important as the first one.
Punish's role right now to beat out Rebellion, and so far, accuracy's a tie between the two players, but Raymond finds a miss right at the start of the last section right now, and Germany.
No!
Maxim is going to trade it. It's traded out, but Maxim misses again, and that's a big accuracy drop down to 99.63. That was one of the highest accuracies on Germany. Raymond's still on 99.85. This is an accuracy lead for China, and they're going to start running away with the point lead. Maxim Meow misses again.
Oh no, stamina issues. This is starting to be very, very strenuous.
Yeah, the density at the very end really does pick up in this map. And China just managing to steal their own point back at the very end.
Oh no, Maxim going from 99.7 to 99.39. Oh,
look at that 300 count by Juxu as well.
I think
clean
what
scores
happens,
as well from Sunny and Rainbow, but wow.
Yeah, those are really clean ratios from China. Juxu with 60, that's just laser precision. Yeah, in any case, I think that Maxim might have stressed a little bit when they saw the first miss going on.
Yeah, that was very, very close to being a break point for Germany, and that would have been catastrophic for China. But right now, Germany are the ones that are on the edge. They need to win their own pick, but luckily they do get to pick the next map. And it's definitely not going to be breaking rules. Could be Meteor, could be Peta Peta.
Yeah, one of the two, but I feel like I feel like they're gonna go with long notes, as I think they've won all of their long note picks.
They've won one of them. They didn't win Desperado Waltz.
Oh, that's fair. It was very close though.
Yeah, they've won both of the hybrids though, and they've decided to go. I mean, even though we're saying they've won some of these maps, it's been by 1,000 points for 3 of them.
Oh
see if Germany can pull it off once again here. The third hybrid pick being picked. The last pick of the regular picks, that is. If Germany win this, we get tiebreaker. If China win this, they manage to end the match early.
What is even going on in Hong Kong versus Indonesia? Indonesia just won Justify My Love with a 998 run, well, 2 998 runs from Rei and Adisa. Really respectable ratios as well.
Yeah, actually Indonesia winning 4 points in a row in that match, 4-3 now, so that's starting to get really, really close. Indonesia starting to run away with the match a little bit.
Oh, that's super interesting that Indonesia is actually managing to make the comeback. Actually, is their train gonna stop? Is there no stop, no restraints train gonna stop? But anyways,
go.
let's go back to this match. This might be the last pick before the tiebreaker, potential tiebreaker, guys.
And remember as well, Germany's life in this tournament is on the line right now. Trying to manage to win this map. Germany is out of the tournament. Extremely important point for both teams. Solid starts from both teams right now. Shywin dropping in accuracy a little bit, but so does Sunny. Both evening out each other there.
Oh,
Mia's finding an early miss there. It's slightly after the 400 combo mark though, so that's going to have the full effect of a miss in the middle of the map.
That's
Germany
still the beginning of the map.
lead.
It's the beginning of the map though. Anything could still happen because this is a very, very physical type of hybrids and very stamina draining. You have to wonder if, for example, Maxim Miao can hold it until the end.
We're a third of the way in now, still 5 full combos on the board and a tiny lead for Germany right now. Accuracy lead is actually in China's favor due to Sunny winning out over Xiaowin in the accuracy department. Mia's, despite the miss, has one of the highest accuracies in the entire lobby.
Oh, this is very, very nerve-wracking to watch. Jixu actually pulling ahead along with Maxim Miao. Both have the same type of accuracy. Maxim Miao is going to be dropping a tiny bit of accuracy. Quite dangerous to go against China here. The lead is getting smaller and smaller. Oh,
Reimu!
no!
Big miss from Reimu on the LNs there. That's going to be 2 full combos gone for China. Only Sunny left with the full combo. Accuracy lead now very, very close. Xiaowin is caught up now with Reimu.
Oh, man.
Germany actually has maybe a little bit of an accuracy lead potentially, but Jixu misses! That's the biggest score for Germany right now, and that's going to be huge. China now have they might be able to take back the score lead, but it's so hard to be able to say.
Is that the first miss of the match for Jixu? Jixu has
It actually is.
Oh my god! It might cost them the match, actually! Look at the lead, it's going back to China!
Oh my god, China have the tiniest point lead right now, but can they hold on? It's the very last few seconds of the map. They just need to hold on to the combos now, and they managed to win!
Oh,
2,000 points of difference. 2,003 in favor of China despite the misses.
It all came down to a trade. It all came down to a trade. Germany could have gone to tiebreaker, and I do not know how the tiebreaker could have gone.
That was extremely close. Germany could not have made that any closer, but China, they managed to just barely get themselves out of this match. They're going to win 6-4. And unfortunately for Germany, this means that they are eliminated from MWC this year, but what an insane showing.
Wow, like, I remember Germany last year. Germany last year had very little to go against their bracket, but here they're actually putting up 6-4 against China. 4 points against China. China is a really strong team and one that is gonna go onwards in the losers bracket and potentially they have another match in the weekend, and that match is gonna be interesting to see as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, losers bracket from this week onwards, they are going to be playing potentially multiple matches, 2 matches per week. So we're going to see more of China later on tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Russia or Peru? Oh my god. Like,
exciting matches all around.
Russia and Peru against China, that's going to be some close matchups as well. Oh my god. And we cannot even take a rest. The next match is soon. Like, there's still one match going on. That's Indonesia versus Hong Kong right now. But there's another match that we need to broadcast as well. Vietnam versus Argentina. In exactly like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now.
Oh my god! And in the background, it's been a full hour now. Indonesia versus Hong Kong still going. Indonesia 5-3.
Jeez. I believe you have a commentator switch up also for this match. I'm not absolutely sure if we want to do the switch, but we can. I will be staying in, but we might welcome our new commentator.
Yeah, any second now. And welcome here. We are going to be switching out. Me going to be leaving now, but we have a very good commentator here in Toph Daddy.
Hello, hello. This has been a really interesting block so far. China versus Germany went a little further than I expected it to, so already a pretty exciting start, as well as Indonesia versus Hong Kong in the background going pretty far as well. But like you guys said, we do have Vietnam versus Argentina here.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be continuing to monitor the situation between Indonesia versus Hong Kong, because if this goes to the tiebreaker, this is absolutely major.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, I could definitely expect, Hong Kong has been performing extremely well. I think a lot of their lost points have been a result of chokes on their own side, potentially. I mean, Indonesia very strong in their own right, having some very strong scores outside of that. But, coming back from a 0-3 position to bring it to match point in your own favor, 5-3, is definitely not going to be looking good for Hong Kong in that scenario. But here we've got a new match with Vietnam-Argentina, another losers bracket match, I believe.
Let me take a look, actually, and I think it is the case, yes.
So another high-stakes matchup coming here. Loser will be knocked out of the tournament, and we see that Vietnam actually ended up losing that role, giving the first ban off to Vietnam, and then second ban and first pick off to Argentina. And I'm not totally sure what to expect out of bans and picks from either side. I need to look back on their previous matches to figure out what they were comfortable with, but Vietnam immediately going for the SV2 ban, which already we shouldn't be seeing that as too much of a surprise. I think it's been banned in all of the matches so far.
What is more surprising to see on the SV2 ban is that it's coming from Vietnam. Vietnam is very scary SV lineup to speak of, but maybe they're hiding information for their next match.
Definitely are a scary SV team, and yeah, like you said, might be saving it for that next match, since if they do manage to get through this match against Argentina, they will be moving on in the losers bracket to play yet another match this weekend. The first weekend in which we're having conditional matches based on who wins in the losers bracket, but we're still waiting for that first ban to come out of Argentina and their pick, while Desperado Waltz has finished off in the Indonesia versus Hong Kong match, and Hong Kong manages to take it by 392 points.
This is ridiculous.
What is going on, man?
Absolutely ridiculous.
I don't understand this really anymore. 392 points is a little too close. There were I think probably 6 or 7 maps between 1,000 points. Wait, just in the matches we've seen.
Look at the combo from Albert. I think they either missed at the beginning or at the end, so it was basically a loss right at the end.
Yeah, wow, that's really close, and that's really unfortunate for Indonesia, but they still are on match point with that, and I believe that was Hong Kong's pick, so they'll get their own pick to try and avoid the tiebreaker there.
Yeah, in any case, the winner of Vietnam versus Argentina are going to be facing France. France, who have won against the Netherlands just now.
Indeed, and we're starting to get picks out of the way here for this match. First pick coming out of Argentina is going to be Ego, so it looks like they're going to be starting off with the Rice section of this map pool. And I could expect Vietnam to potentially go for those long notes hybrids, given the LN1 ban coming out of Argentina there.
Yeah, I feel like Argentina as a whole is more comfortable than Rice, but what you have to know about Vietnam is that Vietnam is also very comfortable on Rice, so might be a little bit of a tough situation, tough strategy to go for.
Definitely, but this has been a relatively, somewhat popular pick. I mean, we saw the equivalent from round of 32 picked quite a lot as well, being Black Lawn Finale from there. This one just a lot faster, but a little bit shorter overall at that 1 minute and 42 seconds mark. So it's definitely like an in and out kind of map. You don't want to be making mistakes on maps this short either, because of it'll have more of an effect on your score than accuracy will in comparison to if it was a long map like say NP Addiction is in this map pool.
Yeah, it'll be quite interesting to compare both of the teams' well-being on this pool. Reminder that going from round of 16 to quarterfinals, there's quite a bit of difficulty increase, and this difficulty increase might be deadly, especially to some of the teams in the losers bracket. In any case, both teams are still getting ready to perform on this quite short pick.
Just waiting for the final player in Vietnam. Looks like Sevelia is able to get swapped in for Vietnam here, and we should have our 6 players to get into map number 1 for Vietnam versus Argentina out of a possible 11.
Yeah, speaking of which, Indonesia versus Hong Kong is playing Meteor and Trucks, potentially I guess that is the last regular pick before a potential tiebreaker in their match.
Yeah, it's either going to tiebreaker. Indonesia's going to be winning this. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But for now, we have the map starting of Ego, and we'll see if this first pick from Argentina pays off.
First pick of the match, we are going to be seeing how each team is faring.
Indeed, we're getting the first couple of broken jump stream bursts coming in here, and a pretty small accuracy lead for Vietnam here. Looks like Stoneworm and C90 are falling a little bit behind. All 3 Vietnam players above the 99.8. Edachim's keeping up with them, but like I said, Stoneworm, C90 dropping a little bit lower below the 99.7s right now. But that is not that big of an accuracy lead for Vietnam. Still within range that a couple mistakes could definitely start swinging this over to Argentina's favor.
Yeah, Vietnam right now was looking like a united performance, but T1 Gaming is going to be ditching the first miss, and that's going to be very fatal to the lead right now, going to Argentina.
Indeed, and that was a pretty nasty drop, dropping from the mid 99.8s down below the 99.7s. But like I said, even singular misses can cause pretty major score losses. We're seeing about a 10,000 point difference just off of that one miss, though the accuracies on Vietnam are starting to drop just a little bit overall, and it looks like I still think Vietnam has the accuracy lead over Argentina here.
However, Argentina is making their accuracy back, but one combo break is going to be 2
combo break. Oh, but Tridon trades it back again. And Argentina's going to be able to hold on to that lead with the 2 full combos to 2 here outside of that burst.
Oh my god, what a back and forth. What a back and forth between the 2. Wow, what a united looking lobby, actually. The performances are actually looking very comparable between Vietnam and Argentina, so I feel like the rest of the Rise picks might be very, very spicy looking forward.
Yeah, I mean, that was the most, or assuming, I mean, Argentina picked it first, I would assume it's their most comfortable pick. And that was already pretty close. We'll have to see how the performances end up on, say, the long notes and hybrids, see if those are just as close, because this could be a very interesting match if that's the case.
Unfortunately, we're not gonna see a tiebreaker between Indonesia and Hong Kong. Indonesia closing it in 6-4 against Hong Kong. Great job, Hong Kong. That was actually really good to see, not even on stream, but from behind the scenes in the MP link alone.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous match. They're unfortunate that Hong Kong was not able to get it to the tiebreaker there, and with that, I do believe that is going to be Hong Kong knocked out of the tournament alongside Netherlands from those previous matches. So unfortunate to see them go, but Indonesia will be moving on in that losers bracket to... I don't have the bracket up. I need to open it.
I do have some matches in front of me. So they're going to be facing either Australia or Chile.
Yeah, Australia or Chile. That's going to be really interesting. That match, I think, is going to be really interesting to see as well. And that one should be happening sometime... Okay, it's going to be happening in like 12 hours from now or something.
Yeah, they're not gonna know their opponents until very late in the game, but they're at least gonna have some information in the form of MP links and performances. Speaking of performances, we are going into Desperate Waltz, and Vietnam opting for the long note strategy. And seeing their lineup, I feel that's reasonable.
Yeah, definitely reasonable, and especially looking at that ban coming up from Argentina, Peta Peta, not surprising to see them just digging right into that long note pool.
Nice roll from Greedham, by the way.
Indeed, and it looks like there aren't going to be any switch outs for either team here. MP Star Command coming in very, very quickly. Both teams getting ready to get down to business. Vietnam looking to take a point right back from Argentina after losing that first pick and bring it to an even match 1-1 on Desperado Waltz here.
Yes, this long note pick is going to be more density focused, and it's going to be a bit more physical than their counterparts.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more on that physical side of long notes, more akin to an inverse pick than a more release or a coordination-oriented LN chart. We're already starting to see a pretty significant lead in favor of Vietnam here. All three Argentinian players at that 99.4 or lower here, whereas Watt with a 99.9 and Sevelia and Tridon just below the 99.8 range. Gonna have a pretty big accuracy lead here. I think already we're only a quarter of the way through the map, and I think we might even be within distance that Vietnam could drop combo once and still maintain a lead just based off their accuracy.
Yeah, Stoneworm is actually getting back some accuracy for Argentina, but it's not going to be enough. C90 and Greedham are actually gaining back some accuracy, kind of following the path of Stoneworm. Going into the later half of the map. The later half of the map is more challenging than the first one, and this is where we might see some reversals.
Yeah, absolutely. These long notes start getting a little bit denser, but those gaps are not the easiest to handle. They're a little bit bigger than might be comfortable for some players. But all of Argentina is trying to build their accuracy back up, but it's not going to be enough right now with all three Vietnamese players holding on to higher accuracies than their Argentinian counterparts. That lead pretty big here. Looks like about 30,000 points of difference, potentially within range of one or multiple misses now. Vietnam just having a lot of room to work with on this map. No one getting tripped up by that trill either, and it looks like Vietnam should be able to take this comfortably as we get into the final patterns of this map.
Yeah, I don't think there is enough runway for Argentina to make it back, even with several misses from the Vietnamese team. We're going to see how these last shots are going to go for both of the teams.
Final Trill, Stoneworm being the only player to drop there. 5 full combos outside of that as well. But that is going to be a 33,000 point victory for Vietnam. Very safe pick for them. Very well done for them. But it's going to go back to Argentina's pick, where I could expect to see some more Rice. I think Ram is not a bad guess for what's going to be coming out from Argentina, just based on them having one on Ego, which has that similar structure, just instead of broken being like constant faster jump stream.
Actually interesting to see the Argentinian team score. They have very, very similar 200 counts, 23, 23, and 22, also kind of a similar ratio. So it's basically kind of like having 3 of the same player on the field.
I like this pick. We're seeing Line Zeta come out, so Argentina already digging into that SV pool, going with Ego as their first Rice pick, but jumping out of it just a little bit to go for the counterpart to what Vietnam had banned. But you also did mention that Vietnam has had some pretty strong SV scores throughout this tournament, so it's going to be a little bit of a risky pick coming out of Argentina very early on in this match.
Yeah, the SV picks are always the most interesting to see in terms of, I guess, point contention. Because on paper, Vietnam might be good on SVs, but you never know what Argentina can work behind the scenes in training.
We're seeing a lot of swap outs. We see Frostleaf come in. We also see BL5 Mi Waifu, if that's how you pronounce that. And Leon Cat coming in for Argentina here. We don't see anyone else swapping out right now, so this might be our 6 players going in for our SV pick of this match.
Yeah, I think those are the actual lineups. But yeah, the previous showdown on Line Zeta was very... In terms of back and forth, you gotta have a look at the accuracy, especially because this is a very volatile pick in terms of accuracy. You lose, you blink your eye once, you lose maybe 0.5 accuracy.
Yeah, you also have to be really careful about certain parts of this map, especially towards the end where those rhythms get a little bit less predictable. It stays pretty swingy for the first, 2/3 of it, and the ending kind of just pushes some bursts in that can really mess with you, especially if you're not well practiced on this. And the long notes especially can be pretty hard because, you have a lot of those quad LNs with some inverse, and a lot of times they'll transition just with a quad. And if you mess up the timing of that, that's potentially 8 200s all at once. And that is going to hurt some players' scores if they're not hitting those rhythms accurately. But we'll have to see how the players approach these sections. Like I said, the first 2/3 a little bit easier to stay consistent on with that constant swing rhythm. But looks like coming out of that intro, Vietnam with a slight accuracy lead.
Yeah. What's also very satisfying to see on stream is how all of those players, well, a couple of those players are actually good snapping. It shows that they have this in training already, so it's going to be very interesting to watch. But for now, Vietnam is going to have the big accuracy lead, actually, at the T1, and Lot leading their way, and Frostleaf actually getting almost as good as in accuracy as Stoneworm, their best asset in Argentina's side.
Yeah, the big difference maker right now being Leon Cat at that 99.4, but Frostleaf actually does find a little bit of an accuracy drop, still ahead of Leon Cat, and will maintain an accuracy lead for Vietnam up to this point. But this is the start of those awkward rhythms that can really start to mess with your accuracy. We're getting into that final third of this map right about now.
Yeah, we see a tiny bit, well, 2 consecutive accuracy drops from Frostleaf, for example, which is going to give a bit of the lead back to Argentina, but not quite enough yet to give the entire lead back to Argentina.
Yeah, but these long notes are starting to come in. Frostleaf drops a little bit of accuracy, but BL5 and Leon Cap both trade a little bit of accuracy dropping. Look at Tridone and not Lock go. Along with Stoneworm on the Argentinian side, not to be forgotten here. 3 players above 99.6, but it is those 2 really high accuracies, just a 1 for Argentina here. And Vietnam looking very strong to be able to take this, despite 6 full combos around the board so far.
Yeah, it might be It might be a bit of an easy SV to full combo, but in terms of accuracy, that's what the teams need.
Wow,
to
3 players with 10 200s. Look at Frostleaf, BL5, and Leoncat. All 3 of them such similar accuracies.
Wow, there's only really the 100s that set them apart.
Actually, I didn't even notice that. They have like the exact same score. That's so interesting to look at.
Yeah, they're like 500 points apart. If that was a 1v1 match, everyone would pretty much go insane.
But that is going to be a breakpoint for Vietnam there, and it's going to go back to their own pick where they can really start to push their momentum forward. And they have another long note pick available in Daisy Cutter, so I would not be surprised to see Vietnam immediately go for a pick like that, especially after such a dominant win on Desperado Waltz.
Yeah, I feel like that's their best pick, but they might want to keep that best pick for later and maybe dabble on some of the hybrids. But no, they're going immediately for it. But yeah, Daisy Cutter very wildcard in its approach, very technical as well. Very chokeable.
Very chokeable. There's a lot of awkward parts in this map. I think, especially once you get out of the break in the middle, there's a section that goes that has a couple of awkward rhythms and singular columns being held down for extended periods of time, just with notes in the middle of them, and that can, for me, that part's really easy to mess up and really easy to mind block as well.
Yeah, that's entirely true. And maybe some of the players might opt for 1 mirror or 2. As we are waiting for the Argentinian long note roster. As for Vietnam, I don't know if Frostleaf is gonna switch. Frostleaf is gonna switch in favor of Australia.
Then we see Greedum coming in for Argentina. Might expect to see C90 in, as they were in on the Desperado Waltz pick prior, but we are still waiting for that 3rd slot to be filled for Argentina.
Yes, indeed. We are seeing in the chat that they are waiting for C90 to join, and C90 is effectively in. We are almost ready to go.
Yeah, we got all 6 players, just gotta make sure everyone ready is up, and we'll be good to go for this map. Vietnam looking to solidify their lead, bring it 3-1. Argentina in a pretty precarious situation early on in this match, already down a break point. This could be an opportunity for them, though, if they're able to be consistent on Daisy Cutter to hopefully take that point back.
Yeah, in any case, if Argentina does not manage to get the break point on this, then the hope relies entirely on the remaining hybrids and Rise picks of this map pool.
Getting through the intro, which is not too bad in terms of overall difficulty, especially on the release portion or the wild card aspects that we're starting to get into now. Have a little bit of an accuracy drop from Sevelia on Vietnam, but Greedom and C90 are both dropping below that point. But Sevelia does find a combo break in this early section, and despite the accuracy lead for Vietnam, it looks like Argentina is going to be able to take a small lead, but looks like a little bit too many accuracy drops from Argentina. And looks like Vietnam, despite that miss, will be able to maintain their lead.
Yeah, well, that combo break is surely making things a little bit closer than expected. So Vietnam should be careful going forward. And we are getting into the quote-unquote problematic section for some people soon.
Yeah, this part's definitely really hard to keep yourself straight on. The rhythm's changing a lot. 3-column inverse requiring a lot of coordination, and this is the single column hold down that I was talking about, especially on those outer columns. We're not seeing anyone drop combo here. Despite 3 full combos to 2, Vietnam is maintaining that lead solely off of the accuracy that is coming out of Tridome Gaming, and a lot here. Griam does find a combo break right at the end, though, and it's going to solidify the lead that Vietnam has and bring it to a 3-1 score mark.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate for the combo of Argentina. They could have had a 3-way full combo showing, but it was so close. And wow, this score from Lot is actually really, really good in terms of international performance. Not to give too much of a, not to shadow too much Taekwon Gaming's performance, because getting any score above 990k on basic at a 1.1, let me stress the 1.1 here, is really hard.
Indeed, we have Argentina coming in for a pick. They went with SV last time. That ended up backfiring a little bit, but they did win a point on Ego. I said this last time, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Ram coming out as Argentina's next pick. I could also see NP Addiction, given the that's a little bit less physical, just a little bit more stamina intense, and if Argentina can hold the stamina, it might be easier to keep that accuracy up on a map like NP Addiction.
I feel like Argentina, if they're a little bit confident in terms of physicality, might go for Fiona.
That could be true too, but I'm not sure they want to go for pure physicality against a team like Vietnam, who has players that were performing extraordinarily well, you know, especially looking back at last year on the finals pool, almost making it into top 4, just getting knocked out on the tiebreaker there. But we are still waiting for that pick from Argentina. It's going to be interesting to see what they go with, and Ram is going to be the pick. So going into the speedier jump stream pick as their second dive into the rice pool.
Yeah, and Ram being almost TV size, almost very close to 1 minute and 30 seconds long, any single miss will hurt a lot in terms of lead and score. So I feel like Argentina wants to play strictly for combo here.
Yeah, absolutely. We see edit teams coming back in for Argentina. Vietnam having a swap out for themselves. Sevelia leaving the lobby, waiting for that replacement to come in for the third player here. I'm not sure who to expect, honestly. I think was Sevelia playing in on Ego? I feel like they were.
I think they were, yeah. Sevelia is one of the main Vietnamese carries as a whole.
Yeah, so it's surprising to see them leave on a pick like Ram, which seems like right up Sevelia's alley. Interested to see who comes in that third slot for Vietnam.
Maybe someone like Manifestio, who has been one of their backups.
And you called it. It looks like Tridon is asking where Manifestio is right now. Trying to get that invite or just getting them moved into the lobby so that they can take over for this very fast jump stream pick. And hopefully Vietnam hopefully looking to take another breakpoint, but Argentina looking to just keep themselves in this match right now.
Yeah, in any case, Sevelia actually switching out Sevelia might make this point more interesting than it seems on paper.
Still Tridon leaving the slot. Still waiting for that third player.
Figuring out.
I think something weird's going on from the perspective of our ref. There's Magnifestio. Okay, we have our 6 players now.
We have all our little farm here. Little player farm.
Looks like that was a miscommunication problem on the side of Vietnam. Magnifestio thinking Sevelia would be in on this.
But what? How is their organization?
No one knows what's going on anymore, but it looks like the Vietnam team will be sticking with this squad for Ram in this scenario, Magnifestio being in for Sevelia. And other teams coming in for the side of Argentina as the main swap outs. As I said, Vietnam looking to snag another breakpoint. Argentina looking to maintain any kind of, or not maintain anything, but like trying to keep themselves within this match.
Anyways, good luck to all of the players involved in this lobby, as we are going to be going in soon. Hopefully.
And here we go. Map number 5 out of a possible 11. Very fast jump stream burst right out of the gate. No one having any major issues here. Lowest accuracy coming out of it is going to be C90 on the 99.77, but that's still very strong. Vietnam just holding a slightly better accuracy through this section, but not by a whole lot.
Oh, Tidwon actually dropping some accuracy, dropping down to 99.7, and that's going to be balancing things out a little bit.
But C90 does find a combo break there, and it's going to help Vietnam maintain the lead after that accuracy drop from Tridon. Not to mention Edichin's also dropping just a little bit of accuracy. Stoneworm doing Stoneworm things, keeping up with the accuracy of the Vietnamese side. But now with the combo break and the accuracy disadvantage from Argentina, there's going to need to be some help coming from Vietnam in order for Argentina to come back in this match.
Tidwon actually catching up in accuracy to 99.86. That's actually pretty interesting to see. Coming from 99.7. And missing even once in this pick actually spells doom for your team if the other team is not missing in return.
And here we go into the last quarter. A very short map, only a minute and a half. So we're already coming into the final bits of jump stream, and Vietnam not looking like they're giving any signs of stopping. Magnifestio looking like the MVP for Vietnam, despite being confused about whether they were playing or not. Tridon, no! What was that?
Did you forget about the last notes of the map?
Wow, unfortunate to break the triple full combo for Vietnam, but they will maintain that victory there and bring it 4-1 in their favor. Back onto their own pick, looking to push this into match point.
Yeah, it's looking good right now, and wow, I did not expect this performance from Magnifestio. I would expect such a performance from someone like Sevelia, but Magnifestio, a great surprise for Vietnam right now.
Yeah, it looks like you were actually right about Tridon just completely forgetting that the last note of that map existed.
Well, I mean, the song does not exactly sound like it's over, though. How would you confuse that?
I mean, there's a pretty big gap between the notes. I've done that before. Plenty of times.
I mean, I've done that in a tournament before, but it was another song, I guess.
Hybrid 1 comes out as the pick from Vietnam, digging into the hybrid pool now that they're out of long note picks. I'm kind of surprised to see Matiern come out as the first hybrid from Vietnam, especially given how rice heavy this is.
Yeah, I would have expected Summer before Matier, but I feel like Vietnam does also feel like they would have to go through Matier to I guess, in this match. Or maybe they're more comfortable on mid tier as a whole.
Potentially. I mean, Azure Vixen and Summer are both quite difficult to keep consistent combo on. So I guess it's not that surprising to see them wanting to go for something a little bit more on the straightforward side, but still staying within the hybrid pool that they're definitely going to be wanting to pick out of.
Well, let's see how it pans out. But you gotta watch how you're performing as well, because I feel like in mid tier, in particular, combo is gonna matter a fair amount. It's not an extremely long pick either, so gotta be careful.
Yeah, not extremely long, still is in that 2.5 minute mark, so it's a lot longer than some of the maps that we have been seeing played in this match, so it'll give them a little bit more time and a little bit more forgiveness for having combo breaks. But Vietnam has been very strong about the accuracy and combo side of things, which, you know, just goes to show their ability to perform at this level. But Argentina's not been doing bad on the consistency side of things. They've just been getting knocked a little bit behind in terms of accuracy overall from Vietnam and finding the occasional miss. So we could definitely see something interesting develop coming out of Matern.
Getting synced up.
And here we go. Opening patterns, we're seeing quite a few accuracy drops all across the board. Lot and Tridon seem to be the only ones not too heavily affected by that opening long note section, but everyone's starting to build their accuracy back up now now as we hit that 400 combo mark and get into a little bit more of a calm section now that everyone's got their maximum combo bonus.
Yeah, for now, Vietnam is going to have the lead in terms of accuracy, but it's not an enormous lead. Freedom is a little bit behind, but they can still catch up in terms of accuracy still. However, Vietnam is actually gaining in accuracy. That's going to make it a lot harder for Argentina to get back up.
It definitely will, but C90 is doing a very good job of keeping that accuracy very high. Just behind Lot right now, it's just Stoneworm and Greenham being a little bit behind Tridon and Savelli here. That's giving Vietnam the lead, but no combo. I've been doing this all day. I've been doing it while I wasn't commentating. I don't know what's going on with me today.
Oh wow. Just cursing from behind the scenes and on the scene. C90 is also going to be prey to this curse. And greet him again.
And that is a huge lead coming out of Vietnam here as we get into the final third of this map.
Yeah, there's not gonna be more occasions for Argentina to catch back up as they give up their last full combo of the lobby. This is gonna be a very difficult point to bargain for Argentina as the lead is looking absolutely huge for Vietnam.
Yeah, it turns out this ended up being a pretty strong pick for Vietnam as they hold on to the triple full combos versus 0 against Argentina as we hit this final little long no burst here. And there should really be no problems from Vietnam being able to bring this match to match point as we see another break coming out from Greedom. And just an absolutely ridiculous set of 3 scores coming out of Vietnam on the turn here.
Yeah, it's actually looking like mid-tier might be one of the toughest challenges for the Argentinian team. Look at those scores compared to the rest of the scores before this pick. It is definitely sort of reaching the limit for the Argentinian team.
Yeah, but it is going to be the pick of Argentina. They're going to have an opportunity to go with whatever they want to hopefully keep themselves in this match. It's do or die here for Argentina on their tournament lives. If Vietnam wins a single map from here on out, Argentina will be knocked out of the tournament. and Vietnam will be moving on, so they're going to have to do everything they can to start getting some momentum back in this match.
Yeah, I feel like it's possible for Argentina to take it on one of the remaining rice picks, but I don't really know if they should go more of the straightforward route or maybe with the remaining technical pick.
I honestly, yeah, I think at this point you have to kind of go for a Hail Mary almost, being stuck in a wall. I would go for Fiona or breaking rules if I was in Argentina's case, because you want to do as much as you can to stop Vietnam from being able to use their consistency against you.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say breaking rules are even justify my love to an extent. Like, if you're betting on Justify My Love, you're betting on chokes from the other side, which is entirely possible.
Not necessarily betting on chokes from the other side, but potentially betting on a player from the other team not being as strong on the more jack-based map. But Fiona comes out a little bit of the risky, as we were saying, a little bit more on the risky side of things, but this is exactly what Argentina needs to do. Yeah,
definitely dip your toes in the dirty mud. That's what you need to do to survive, and Argentina is very close to give up that survival, as we are in the losers bracket, remember.
Looks like our ref wasn't quite sure what Fiona was in the map pool, but we got it there in time anyways.
It's quite an interesting song choice for such a speedy map that you're going to see. This map's rough. Speed map. This map is rough. This map does not let out.
Yeah, the intro is also quite difficult. It has some pretty technical elements, some mini jacks to start off the map, but that isn't really the difficult part of this map. Once you get into the second half, you start introducing those 315 BPM single streams with some pretty tough patterning as well. Not quite as tough as the previous round's speed map, but it still gets up there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how the Vietnamese team is going to receive this pick. I feel like this lineup, Sibelia, Lot, and Tidwan, is fairly confident on this type of difficulty, but they can still prove us wrong today. You never know.
Never know what's going to happen. We're not seeing any swap outs from either. Well, actually, we saw. No, Sevelia wasn't on the previous pick. What am I saying? We're not seeing any swap outs from either team. And looks like we should just be waiting for the teams to get ready. And there's the start command. We should be getting ready to get into the potential final pick of this match, unless Argentina has something to say about it.
Remember, we have seen Indonesia coming from a 3-0 to a 6-4, so everything is still possible.
Everything is still possible. We still have those reverse sweep potentials.
That's a false start from Stoneworm right here, just a miss right at the beginning.
Indeed we do, and first opening stream, not treating anyone too badly, but Stoneworm finding a good spot for that miss. C90 holding on to a really strong accuracy, highest in the lobby currently, but that miss from Stoneworm definitely going to help Vietnam hold on to a lead in this intro, and that's another miss, and that one's going to be a little bit more detrimental to the score, given it was after the 400 combo mark.
We're gonna have to hope for some events happening on the Vietnamese team if we want to see the momentum change.
Long stream coming out. We're getting into the more difficult patterning coming out with those mini jacks in the streams, or camel jacks, I suppose. But then it gets a little more straightforward. Line Edachines trading misses, but that's still going to go in the favor of Vietnam here. We saw that red bar jump a little bit, and it looked like Locke's miss was a lot cleaner than Edachines, who dropped now below the 98%.
No pun intended. And Stoneworm's going to catch a combo break again. And I feel like the combo is in favor of Vietnam still. The lead is still huge.
Yeah, again, this map is pretty short. It starts getting really difficult with the streams in the second half. And we see another trade between Edachines and Lot. Yet again, a little bit cleaner for Lot in that scenario. And this lead just is expanding. And it looks like Vietnam will be able to defend, or not defend their own pick, but take the final break point in this match to take the victory here against Argentina 6-1.
Yeah, that was a risky pick from Argentina, but they had to go for it. They had to pit their own physicality against the other team.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of got to take those risks when you're backed into a corner, but you know, despite that, it just did not work out for them, and unfortunately with that, Argentina will be knocked out of the tournament in that 24th place slot, getting knocked out in losers quarterfinals, whereas Vietnam will be moving on in the tournament to face, we said this before, France. That is right. They will be going on to face France in the second round of quarterfinals, and that match will be happening sometime tomorrow, I believe. Yes, Vietnam, France will be happening tomorrow at 12 UTC. So we have almost a full day between this match and the next one that we will see Vietnam in. But we do have quite a few matches in this block, I believe. We have another few coming in after this. I'm not sure if we're going to be closing the stream since we have another one coming up in about 15 minutes, which will be Canada versus Italy.
That's an interesting one as well, I feel like. It might be an interesting one depending on how the Italian team is receiving the map pool. But
I'm really excited to see how that match ends up going. That is another losers bracket match as well, so lots of stakes, which will be happening at the same time as Singapore, Spain, another losers bracket match. So we've got lots of stakes coming up in that next match, which is coming up in 13 minutes. But since we have a little bit of a break, go get some food, get a little bit, get a walkout, get your legs moving a little bit before you come back and watch an exciting match of Canada versus Italy. We'll be back in about 13 minutes to start that. See you guys then.
Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Mania 4K World Cup 2022, and we're back with some more matches to coming up right here. We got Canada versus Italy, and also we're happening on in the background as well. We got Singapore versus Spain. I'm your commentator host today from Mifa, and we'll be joining with Orca. How are you doing?
Hello everyone, I'm doing pretty well. A little sleepy, but we're going to get through it for this Canada versus Italy match. Give these players the hype and respect that they definitely deserve.
Absolutely. I feel like I should mention as well, I think this is probably the same placement for Italy from last year, which is quarterfinals. And I think from last year, I think they did pretty much the same thing that I was expecting to. And also Canada for going as well in quarterfinals.
Yeah, Canada making a run. I think, this is about... Quarterfinals really is that spot where, you have to really perform, far and beyond your seed if you're, kind of in that 16-ish area, whatever, to be able to make it past. But I know Canada, at least in 40M, if there's any parallel with that, making a very good run. So maybe we'll see a little bit of the same story happening for Canada here, being able to make a run finally past quarterfinals.
Absolutely, and we saw the bans here, which coming from Italy, no surprise at all, banning Marino, which I think so far has been banned all of time. Not necessarily, but I think
it's been banned every match that I've caught. I didn't actually catch the Brazil match. I don't know if it was banned in that match, but it's been basically perma-banned here. But then also, I'm pretty sure Line Zeta has been picked in every match that I've seen. So very interesting dichotomy there.
Yeah, so we've seen Canada banning Daisy Cutter, which is kind of interesting to me. I think I've seen Canada banning some of the LN picks, from last rounds. So I'm not surprised at all to see that being banned. Although we've seen Ram coming in.
Yeah, Ram here, more of our jump stream pick, a lot shorter. I think Canada they typically do rely a little bit more on their Rice ability. I mean, especially if you're coming up against Italy, it's a little iffy whether you want to, go towards LN. Italy definitely has a lot of proficiency in that bottom half of the pool. But I mean, players like Piggy, Dale, I think maybe Stability coming out here, very capable in Rice. Man, I forgot about that.
I should mention that Canada has basically the whole stronghold on Rice picks in general, so it's no surprise to me that seeing Piggy, Dale, or GD Mem for most of the Rice picks. I think there's also Lopez as well, also plays with Rice, but this is basically what the strongest that Canada can bring.
Yeah, all these players, I mean, being up there physically, I think accuracy-wise, they might fall behind a little bit in terms of being compared to some of the other really big accuracy powerhouses. But physically, they can definitely hang for a while into quarterfinals and past that for Rice. We'll just have to see if they're able to keep that accuracy up to snuff against Italy's squad here with Kiraz, Julian Mania, and Crybob finishing out their roster.
I'm not sure if Italy is kind of messing around with the roster right now, because it says on the chat that GUI is yeah. I'm not sure if GUI is messing around, because he said he doesn't clear the map, so I don't know.
Oh wait, I forgot. I think they're just gonna go. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to see if this is their official squad. We'll see if they perform. Yeah, so we were saying, much of an issue. Yeah. Like we were saying, Ram here being one of the shortest maps, not only in this pool, but in the tournament so far. So right out the gate, Crybob and Kiraz actually taking a drop there, while Canada's squad staying very even in that 99.8 range. So Canada taking a very early lead here. So now
that's already
all
FC's
gone. Yeah, from Italy.
And already not having a good time, and it seems like they kind of stay true to what it is, but the lead is really ginormous right now, given the start of the song.
Yeah, especially some of those trails, if you're not fully warmed up, 244 BPM can really sneak up on you. It seems like that's exactly what it did to these Italian players. Missing all of their SCs now. Absolutely, mountainous lead here from Canada. Going to be very hard to climb that from Italy as we get into the second half of this map, get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, this is not looking great for Italy right now, given the highest ACK is hitting 99.4, while everyone in Canada is like just above like 99.8.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, all these Canadian players physically be able to handle this very well. Unlikelihood for them to be dropping FCs, especially on this pick. I think that fits really well. Oh, yeah, commentators first. Yeah, Dale dropping the first FC for Canada. Piggy really almost holding into that 99.9, but dropping, I think, a 200 or 2 there at the end. Yeah,
wow,
Mem
that's a
holding
104k.
2-digit perfect from Piggy, though. That's an insane score. Wow, just dropping those 200s at the end.
I should also mention that even though the 25 200s, 8 200, that score isn't bad at all. This chart is actually hard in its speed.
Yeah, and it doesn't give you a lot of time to really ease into it either. You know, it throws you right into it, and then before you know it, it's over.
Yeah, it's TV size chart, right? That's basically it.
Yeah. Call it the mini pick. Not the mini jack pick, though.
Right.
Yeah. Italian players, though, I think they played really well as a team together there. Something I always like to point out is, you know, how well they back each other up. But the scores being very similar for those players, so them being able to rely on each other for those picks, you know, having very similar ratio and whatever, so we'll see if they're able to maybe steal something under the nose of Canada. Doubt they'll try to pick Rice, though. Yeah, going for Hybrid 1 here, actually.
Or Meteor.
Missile Punch.
Or Meteor, I guess, if you want to call it that
Terran
way.
Troops. I don't even know what language that's supposed to imitate.
Me neither, man. Me neither.
If there's something we can always rely on in Mania in general, it's for these songs to have completely unpronounceable names.
Yeah, transliteration and basically most of the sample text things. You know?
Yeah. There's a new sample text chart called Fatal Entanglement. However, for the angle part of it, they just used like an angle like Unicode.
Yeah, right.
It gets crazier and crazier every new song. But anyways, hopping right into this first hybrid pick here from Italy. Same lineups actually for both squads. That's kind of surprising.
Oh yeah, actually, but not already with the very rocky start for Italy. Not even above 98 right now. Just a bit.
Yeah, coming straight into it. I mean, first no lag and maybe just nerves being a factor as well. It seems like they're starting to stabilize a little bit more, but that stabilization, that equilibrium is a bit below Canada's equilibrium. So they have a lot of uphill movement that they need to do here to take that lead.
Yeah, with this 30,000 points this early on is definitely, let's say, you can not really just play too much and just play like SVs or something, just to make sure you can actually get some defenses.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even their top players, Italy, still being below Canada's. Actually, I mean, I was not expecting Canada to have this strong of a performance on hybrids here, but I guess that makes sense if they're able to physically handle, especially this hybrid, if you're able to physically handle it.
Yeah,
then it kind of makes sense.
Meteor is like the most physically oriented hybrid.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair, I think this shouldn't matter too much for Canada to be able to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, 2 of Italy players actually dropping FCs there, and there goes the third one. Italy losing all of their FCs. Similar story to that Rice pick last, but actually Piggy in a turn of events here dropping as well. Maybe giving Italy one glimmer of hope in the dark cavern that is this hybrid pick.
Yeah, I think at this point the difference seems a little bit too much in the physical gap right here. It does seem to take toll on the score difference.
Yeah, there would have to be a catastrophic level accident from Canada's team to be able to return this lead to Italy. Unlikely to happen as we go into this last little section here, last LN section.
seems like Piggy's missing again here, but it doesn't really too matter much. As he got to a lot of misses already in Italy.
Yeah, and I mean, something to note too, like we were saying, Canada being really rice-oriented, a lot of very physically capable, I mean, Piggy and Mim being super, super physically capable players. In the rice aspect, but you can see there, it was mostly LN stuff that kind of tripped him up a bit. I think Mim holding on very well on the reverse of that. But yeah, if we see some of the more like LN-based hybrids and the LN picks themselves, we can see Canada maybe falter a little bit. So I'm excited to see if Italy tries to maybe play that angle coming up as they lose that break point.
Yeah, whilst we're actually waiting for the next pick to come, actually we got an update for the other match that we're actually going on here with Singapore versus Spain, and Singapore is up by 2 now, winning on RAM with actually 32,000 point difference, which is not a whole lot, but given X-Men with 998 on RAM.
Wow.
Man.
Gosh. X-Men is absolutely insane player. If you have him in your fantasy team, I think you've been getting a ton of points. I believe he was top 3. I don't know if he's still top 3 in point earners for fantasy anymore, but definitely up there.
So we've seen Justify My Love here. Alright, the Core Jack pick here seems kind of an obvious move for Canada to me because of how really straining the patterns are.
Yeah, picking, letting everyone know in chat, -8 millisecond offset. Piggy talking in map pool feedback, I believe, as well, about offset. I don't know if teams usually... I haven't been seeing anything about people leaving spreadsheets of, like, recommended offsets. That was a thing that's happened in other tournaments, but I think in MWC they kind of just keep it to their team. But I know Piggy is a player that definitely, like, keeps track of the offsets.
Yeah, I think it was like pretty much a little bit of offset sensitive things, and they would probably just keep it to their teams. I think at some point they're like keeping track of what the offset you should do but at some point most people would just do it differently.
Yeah, aborting, I think a player DC'd. I don't know if they were still trying to swap out or if he just accidentally left or DC'd for Italy.
Okay, he's back.
Getting Kiraz back in. Okay. So again, same squad actually. He pressed escape by accident. Well, actually you have to press it twice. So I guess he pressed it twice by accident.
Alright. I mean, hopefully Kiraz doesn't do that in the middle of the match.
I think, yeah, if you're a top row player, I've actually come into this. I had to rebind my scoreboard button because it's on tab. It was on tab. By default, I'm a top row player, so I can sometimes hit that. It's kind of distracting. I don't know about hitting escape by accident unless you're like playing with your function keys or something. But
yeah, maybe you shouldn't actually just put your tab key close to the escape key. That's a
that's my bad, I suppose. But hopping into this, hopefully not bad of the players. Seeing this core deck pick, definitely expecting very low perfect counts. Here, it's what is expected from project picks, especially looking at some of the Canadian players to score very, very high. Bob already missing so early on. Luckily, there's a decent amount of combo left to be gained, so missing super early on isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, some bits of desync.
Dale
with also trades up, even though Dale actually trades up with even more combo to gain for. So I think the lead is actually kind of trickling back to Italy at some point.
Yeah, as that combo gets up, Italy's still being able to game. But I mean, Canada, Mem and Piggy, they're having such overwhelmingly good accuracy that it's still coming back in their favor as Dale gets back to that 400 combo range.
Yeah, Canada's just really coming back in with more accuracy than Italy right now. But even then, the miss with the Cryball right there, it's just basically just dent the lead.
Yeah, Piggy holding a 99.96 there for Canada. And Mem not too far behind. Dale missing again to trade that, but GUI on Mania, trading that out once again to keep that lead on Canada's side. That's absolutely insane error bar from Piggy there. So mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, 15k difference right now. I think GD Mem is not that far behind either. It's just basically what carries Canada right now.
Yeah, and Dale actually, I mean, working his accuracy back up after those two misses, back up into that 99.5, Crybob, and all of Italy players still losing that combo. No more FCs. Getting down into the 99 for Union Mania and missing again. Wow, yeah, that red line is just getting so big now. Yep, seems undoable for here, really Italy. Seems like Canada's going to take this pick white.
Oh no, Piggy!
Yeah, but Canada taking that their own pick there. Honestly, to be expected. Absolutely insane. Look at those ratios. 79-98.
No 200s. No 200s at all.
That miss was pretty clean. Just on that one.
Yeah. So those were 3 100s and 5 misses being dropped across Canada. But yeah, you can see that's a pretty normal core jack score, right? You just basically get 100s and misses.
I mean, if anyone, or I guess for the viewers here, definitely go back and look at Brazil's score on this map if you want to see just how low core jack picks can get. Brazil pulling out, all of their players had below 40 perfect count. I think it was like 33, 35, and 38, with only Lothus having 1 200 there. So it was almost triple 999 in lobby. So that's really like, that's how far core jack picks can go at this level of competition.
Not even the sub 100 total. Shaking my head.
Yeah, I know. Imagine that triple 999ing in lobby.
Yeah, well, I think it was saying Desperado, not not the song title or what it means, but I think Desperado Waltz should be the next pick.
Yeah, we're kind of leading up to this. I was talking about how I was definitely expecting Ellen to come out from Italy here. Team Desperado, that's more of a denser LN pick, so we'll kind of have to see if Canada's able to keep up here, because we saw a little bit of faltering from specifically Piggy actually on that hybrid that was picked earlier when the LNs got a little bit too dense. So definitely looking at Canada to perform here. Kind of, they have to answer back to Italy.
Although we have seen the other match as well. Singapore is up by 3 to Spain, with Daisy Cutter being the pick, but Spain lost it, and even there with 994 on X-Men, which is actually amazing on their own right.
Yeah, that's surprising. Actually, a player swap coming out from Canada here. First time in this match that we're seeing a change of roster. Stability coming in for GD Mem. Can't quite. I wasn't keeping up with what they were talking about in chat. Seems like.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen stability being played in most Olympics for Canada, so I think this is no surprise to me.
Yeah, I think both teams are actually missing players here. That might be why we're not seeing many roster changes, specifically from Italy. I think this match is fairly early for them, or is it super late? I can't tell.
Oh, we're seeing SVP instead of a Piggy this time.
Yeah, I'd say that makes sense. As the Ellens start to get more and more dense, it would make sense to swap out your Rice player for your more hybrid / Ellen oriented. So I'd say SVP is kind of an all-rounder in general. Alright, seems like we're going to be hopping into this match.
I'm actually curious on level 2.
Yeah, I mean, if Italy's not able to swap out players if they're missing a lot, then that stamina can really come back to bite them. Especially if Canada keeps picking Rice. That's just another, nail in the coffin for them, I think, on top of kind of being a little bit behind on Rice. Alright, and there we go. We get the MP start 5 command. So we will be hopping into this first LN pick here from Italy. The LN density pick, Desperado Waltz. Hopping right into it here shortly.
Yeah, this should be a test to how the other Olympic is gonna go with for Italy, because if Italy wins it, then the other Olympic shouldn't be too much of an issue to be picked.
Oh yeah. If Italy can take this point, then I think there is a little bit of hope for them here to maybe get that other LN pick and then play a little bit more of the hybrid angle. But I mean, it's not looking good already. Crybob dropping the first combo fairly early on. So combo does break up fairly quickly in LN because, I mean, you get one for the head and one for the tail.
It doesn't look like Crybob is like gaining in accuracy. He's just having a lot of trouble and mostly gaining 300s left and right.
Yeah, you can look at that error bar. Seems actually hitting and releasing maybe a little late, I believe.
It's
Maybe
pretty much all
stabilize
over the place.
here. Yeah.
All over the place, yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to just look at those error bars and you can kind of tell what players are struggling a little bit. You can see the Canadian players still holding in that blue area a decent amount. Yui and Crybob dropping again from Italy. This lead's looking just as overwhelming for Canada as it was looking on those rice picks.
Yeah, it's just like stability with actually kind of calm.
Ooh, 2 players from Canada dropping.
Yeah, but even stability actually kind of like missed like 4 to 5 times, but then the lead is actually just too huge for Canada right now. I don't think I've seen this lead this big, even with that calm lock.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, Dirty Miss is going to do a little bit for Italy, but really not that much. Crybob, they're missing again, having to work back up to that 400 as we come into this last quarter. I mean, seems like about 70,000 points ahead, 80,000 points ahead for Canada. That's really just not something you come back from here, especially on LN coming to this last section. Not a lot of notes left.
And we're just coming to a close of the chart here. I don't think I actually seen this much of a struggle here for Italy. But whoa, actually, SVP a little bit missed it before the Lacrima Trails, but doesn't seem to be taking any struggle.
Yeah, Kiraz holding the only FC, I believe, in the lobby.
Yeah.
But it is not going to do much for the Italian team, though he does take a clean MVP.
Yeah, that is actually MVP by about 1,500, which is very impressive.
Something nice to take away from it. I mean, coming down 4-0 for Canada here. I mean, 2 break points being taken away from you on Ellen, and also, I mean, losing on Hybrid, being kind of dominated in Rice. There's really not a lot of hope left. And I hate to say that as a commentator, but I mean, taking points on every single category in the pool other than SB. I mean, that last SB pick that wasn't banned still kind of looming there, maybe for Italy. Other than that, it's looking quite dire.
Oh my god, I've seen the other match right now. Singapore Spain 4-0, Justify Milo with 999.7k.
X-Men, you can't do that. That's not
10.
allowed.
That's 10 300s. I don't know what happened right there.
10?
That is
gosh,
10.
I have to pull this up.
You can't make this up, really.
Whoa. Imagine almost single-digit perfecting a Rice pick in quarterfinals of NWC. The maps are harder this year than they were last year. Everything's been scaling up a bit. So, like, getting 10 perfect, my mind is honestly blown. That's unbelievable.
I also like to mention that is with OD9. So all things considered, the timing is actually harder than what it seems to do. But 10, that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that's unreal. That's insane. I can't believe that. I was talking about X-Men, getting a lot of points for that fantasy squad, being able to MVP on basically everything that he's been playing on. But that is a new level. That is just otherworldly. Extraterrestrial, as we might say.
Yeah, it's another league of their own,
Yep. But back to this match. As I was sort of hinting at, for Italy, this SV pick, actually. The only SV pick that is open for these teams. This is as wildcard as wildcards get here. I have no clue how much teams have practiced either of these. So we'll just have to see and let their scores talk. Seems Crybot falling far behind here.
Seems like Piggy had like about fairly good intro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Pig, I mean 99.9. That is a very good intro. Crybot though missing, dropping below S rank.
Below S threshold here.
Yeah, it seems like actually two of the players on Italy maybe didn't practice this as much as they likely should have. Kira is also dropping a fair amount of accuracy, but that could be chalked up to a little bit of nerves because they're still holding combo. Crybot the only one not with an FC right now.
Yeah, so far this is looking very comfortable already in Canada. Given that I think it's only fair that this is their pick, but man, 99.7 across, this is actually very, very high.
Yeah, and I said this coming in when we were doing intro to this match. Canada is definitely a team that learns the SV. They practice, it's the same thing in 4DM. I think Canada's always been good about practicing the pools as much as they can without, risking mind block. And so we're really seeing that here with SV. Kira is dropping another FC for Italy. They're only bringing the lead even heavier into Canada's favor by over 100 and I think 50,000. Yeah, wow. About 180,000 point lead.
Yeah. Yeah, even with like Dale dropping the combo from Canada, but I mean the lead is just 220,000 points. I think you really can't do it much about it.
Yeah, Canada here just showing that they are dominant not only on Rice, but they can also put up really great scores on SB, good scores on Ellen, good scores on Hybrid, showing that they are a very proficiently well-rounded team. Hitting this so clean here. Wow, Piggy and actually Stability catching up and surpassing Piggy's accuracy here.
Yeah, just a bit with those Ellens coming out right there, but yeah, that is a really, really good score.
Yeah, great team score from Canada. Only missing out on about a little over 50,000 points.
But actually, with Piggy taking like basically 100 less ratio with Stability, Stability gets very clean black flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the most you can hope for on SV is to get as close to that V1 SS as you can. But as the SV gets harder, that becomes less and less possible. Obviously, on a Rice, and specifically, I mean, Ellen and Hybrid, seeing V1 SSs at this stage in the game is fairly rare. A V1 SS on any map in this pool is going to be MVP or quite close to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Though we have another update for the other match as well. There, with Spain actually losing on Fiona, but that's the Singapore's pick. With X-Men again taking the MVP once again with 996k, which is absolutely amazing given it's a stream pick to begin with.
Yeah, I think X-Men's actually MVP'd on every single pick in that match so far. And right now, Singapore is holding 5-0 over Spain in their match point.
Yeah, for those people out there who is wondering like with Fantasy League works and they're picking X-Men, they're basically getting full points for that. So
yeah,
really impressive.
Yeah, if X-Men finishes it out with another MVP, then that's just like maximum amount of points that you can get.
But yeah, we got to see Ego being picked here, and I believe this is also, I think this is Italy's pick, I think, for Ego?
Yes, yeah. This is Italy's pick because Canada picked SB. So Italy going for more of a Rice wild card. Being more burst heavy. I don't know, I think Italy might just be going for like the maps that are kind of more chokeable. This map is definitely very chokeable. I think they're trying to just play to, maybe they think they have that mental fortitude to stick it out, maybe banking on Canada to take a couple misses there. Huey on Mania actually in chat saying, I'm going to play this cross-handed. Maybe that'll help with the mind block. Instead of, putting mirror on, you just play it cross-handed. It's like,
I don't know. I mean,
mirror, kind
to me, cross-handed is a chaos. I just can't even comprehend how do you play that.
Yeah, I mean, playing cross-handed, like, if you change the binds, maybe, but if it's the same binds, then I would not be able to do that. That would mess with me way too much. Wow, Piggy, is that a... No, I think that was a legit miss early on.
Yeah, very early intro miss, but I mean the accuracy by itself is just doesn't really change all that much, even with that miss.
Yeah, I honestly might not have even caught that miss if I didn't hear the effect sound. GD Mim actually taking another miss. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, relying maybe on the Canadian players to miss a little bit more than them, which is the case. But I mean, even with those misses, Canada is still holding the lead here just by pure accuracy.
Yeah, it's just a shy with 2 misses, but even then, that's basically the intro of it though. So not that much in the way of point loss here.
Yeah, Mim actually taking
wow!
another loss. That's very unexpected from Mim here.
Lee's swinging, but the accuracy doesn't seem to change much.
Yeah, and as soon as Mim gets back up to that 400, I mean, they're holding really great accuracy, so that lead will just go even more in their favor. Italy just like 100% needs to hold this combo here. That's all they can hope for, and just pray that Canada keeps missing.
I'm so confused. How the lead?
Here's dropping the first FC for Italy. Wow, as we come into this last section, I think that's gonna do it for them. Unless Canada can drop their combos a little bit more, though you can't really affect what the other team does. You can just hope and pray.
Yeah, the lead is actually just growing with Kira's missing.
Yeah.
It actually keeps growing even with missing. So this is
So
honestly
strong from Canada there. Yeah, to keep gaining lead after you're missing, that's incredible. Piggy there, 164 perfect. Really great score to end it off. Canada taking this match 6-0 against Italy. And this is, reminder, this is a lower bracket match. So Italy, this is the final match that they will play in MWC 2022. A send-off here. Great showings from both teams. Cannot give enough props to all of these players.
Yeah, can I point out that GY playing cross-handed actually gets the FC, so...
if they were actually playing cross-handed. I don't know if they were lying to us or not. But, yeah. If they were playing cross-handed, I think that deserves MVP. Yeah, but after this match, I think Canada taking the win here. I believe next match coming up is going to be Peru versus Russia. And so I think we'll either see that at the top of the hour, we might head straight into it, not sure. We'll see the call here. But as for this match, Canada versus Italy here, I believe we will be signing off, and so we'll see you guys in the next match. See you guys.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Osu Mania 4Key World Cup 2022. I am Orca here with my favorite sea animal, Mifa. How are you doing, Mifa?
Hey, we're back, and I'm doing really fine today. And since this is probably the one of the few matches that we're actually gonna commentate with this particular match until we get a bit of a break for the next matches as well. So I think this is probably like the most interesting match I've seen, to be honest.
Yeah, about a 11-hour gap, I believe. I guess 10 from the end of this match to the start of the next one. So this is the last Mania content you guys are gonna get for a while here. So you better enjoy it, okay? But what do we got here? We got Peru versus the Russian Federation. Russia, I believe, last round taking it to tiebreaker, and Peru taking kind of a short win. It wasn't necessarily too close, but it wasn't a blowout either, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think at some point I commentated Russia versus Finland was like in the last round with Potassium. I see. There was a couple of picks that I think they are quite giving you information about for Russia. I think it seems. I think given their current roster, I think they're pretty much mixed bags of most of the picks. I think for this round.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got Peru as well, which is absolutely versatile in Rise, but at the same time, you really don't know any much about it. So I think this is gonna be a chicken game who is gonna pick the most interesting stuff in this pool.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, Peru definitely being a more Rice specialty team. But I don't think I can really chalk it up to like any team having the clear, definite, overwhelming advantage. I think it really will come down to who picks better. I think if you are playing your picks around your team very well, then that gives you enough of an advantage to be able to take the win from a team that might be higher seeded than you, or might be the favorite going into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's worth mentioning that given Russia went to tiebreaker against Finland, this actually does get you a bit of info how they would play hybrids in general. Even though I think hybrids in general is a bit of a step up from like last round, but I feel like a tiebreaker by itself is an indication of what the level for this round's difficulty would be.
Yeah, everything being taken a step up. It's really hard, especially with qualifier results, right? Because the qualifier map pool is its own thing. And so in tournaments, you know, even if a map is kind of in the same category technically, it might have a little bit of a different focus and stuff. So it's hard to really nail down, you know, this team is this seed in Rice, therefore they will beat the team that is seated below them. It really just like is how you play that pool this week. You know, it's are you able to handle what it is throwing at you? And the first ban here is actually going to be Lion Zeta. This is an interesting change up from the previous matches where teams have been banning Marinol.
I think probably the first ban, I think, for Lion Zeta, to be honest with you.
It's been being picked, so yeah, it's a little bit surprising. We'll see if Russia takes out that other SV pick, or if they maybe want to get rid of a Rice.
Please don't ban Marinol.
Praying that we get to see it pick this this pool, and there goes the Korjak pick.
Oh boy. Okay, so they're actually potentially going to be seeing Marinol for the first time in this match, if it does get picked.
Yep. Alright, so banning Rice right into picking Rice. I think that Korjak ban definitely makes sense in my opinion. Peru probably having the advantage on that pure ratio, and then going into more of a wild card bursty pick here. Definitely two different sides of the same coin as in terms of Rice picks. So we'll see how Russia fares on this.
I think in terms of picking, I think Russia has the brightest decisions to pick for most of the tournament. Because I feel like Russia had several points being broken down of other teams that actually winning the picks. So I feel like this particular pick, in my opinion, isn't the best, I guess, if you want to call it that way, because I feel like there's a couple, like, I would say, like, Meteor, or probably some of along the lines of Fiona, I think it would probably gonna go down to.
Yeah, I think some teams miss out on the idea that you're not picking necessarily what your team is good at, but more what you think you are better at than the other team, right? So having like a really good score on the core jack pick, for example, even though it's banned, I'll just use that as an example. Having really good scores on that is kind of to be expected. So just because you're really comfortable on that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be able to take it as a point against your opponent. We might be seeing that like here on Ego. Maybe the Russian team has really good scores, but I don't know. I really see Peru as maybe having a little bit of an advantage here. As we hop into it, waiting for all the players to catch up. For Peru here, we have Lolito, Henry, and Dendro as their squad for a wild card, and then we have Larek, Nepko, and Leko for Russia.
Although it sort of helps you out if with the Justify My Love being banned, so I think like the accuracy is gonna be like a bit of a question mark for some. And then you see Henry like it drops like at the very intro, so I feel like it's gonna help Russia a fair bit, but it's like I guess some of the hardest content in this chart to be dealt with.
Yeah, and I mean Russia taking that early lead because of the drop, but look at the accuracies. I guess not anymore now. Lolito drops, 2 FCs gone for Peru, but Dendro still holding the highest accuracy in the lobby. These Peruvian players definitely need to catch up a little bit after these drops as they get close to this 400 combo. The lead will stabilize a little bit. Lyco dropping the trade.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah, you can see that blue line starting to get a little bit smaller bit by bit.
All the accuracies are just above 99.6 at this point. It's just that 2 misses from Peru, but it actually did trade it off with Lyco. But even then, given the difference on Dendro with the other players, I think it's safe to say this is not a safe lead at all.
Yeah, I think the lead's definitely going to start coming back in Peru's favor as long as they can keep combo. That's really the name of the game here, is keeping combo to the end. And so I think Russia will be able to hold this as long as they hold that combo. This section is so dense here. Players doing so well to hold.
I think it doesn't matter to them at this point. I think the lead is actually kind of cut down for a fair bit, but there's like a couple of bits of the 1/5. Oh, Dendro finally taking the drop right there. Just gonna seal it for Russia.
Yeah, right at the end.
Wow, 13K.
Decent amount of points lost, but still having great scores. Yeah, I mean, 132, perfect. Insane.
V1SS for Nepko right there. What it appears to be that Dendro actually taking a dirty miss right there. It doesn't seem to drop any 200s, but it's just that 150 with an extra right there.
Yeah, and I mean, like with the scoring, you can see with Nepko with the V1SS and then Dendro having that dirty miss, but yet having almost 100 less perfects, but yet having, 6,000 point difference. You can see how much those misses really impact you. Even if it was at the very, very end, not a lot of stuff left to be a detriment to that combo scoring. So those misses, they will really bite you on these shorter maps here.
Yeah, this could have been different if it wasn't those the miss on the early for Peru right there
from the 2 Peruvian players, for sure. I think that's a really good showing for Russia. Maybe getting a little bit of pep in their step here on Rice, more confidence in their Rice picks, at least on those bursty wildcard picks. So as well, maybe breaking rules being another wildcard pick that they might be able to hold in their back pocket after seeing that. But we'll have to see what Peru answers with here after losing this Rice pick.
Problem? I think it could be Ram, but I feel like if you're gonna do adventures or not, I feel like you can just go with MP Addiction just to see how you can gauge the stamina for most of the players right there.
Yeah, NP Addiction maybe being that feeder into Ram, with Ram being a lot more of that denser jump stream. I think Fiona definitely could be a back pick. I mean, those top 3 Rice for Peru maybe being a little bit more favorited. But Fiona really not being picked as much this tournament, it's a little scary for some teams. Trying to get the pick out of Peru here, make sure
gonna go with Ram.
Gonna go with Ram, that jump stream. Fast pick here. Yeah, coming in at 244 BPM.
Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting, given this is just pure straight jump stream. There's some I feel like the harder contest is how you just handle most of the layering itself. It's just very trilly, and it's very choke bait. You can see from like Canada versus Italy went down earlier, and some of the other matches previously.
Yeah, it's a lot shorter. You don't get a lot of break time. There's like a couple, or there's like one short break. But other than that, it is basically just straight 244 BPM, like dance stream, jump stream. It's brutal. It's very, very chokeable, coming in at only a little over 1.5 minutes.
I think we're probably seeing the same roster for previous map, which is Ego. I feel like you can just basically go with this, and you can go either way, basically, given how Ego went.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like you said, it is a bit of a question mark. I'd say for accuracy. I mean, Peru had the pure accuracy lead. I mean, if we're just looking at perfect counts, maybe not the best
by a slim margin.
But they did have a little bit of that lead. It's all about, if you're gonna miss, keep it clean. But obviously, optimally, just don't miss.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. You just don't miss.
Just don't miss. Nepco,
oh wow, there you go.
To our advice, missing, not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hit the notes. But Peru had a great accuracy.
Yeah, seems like a pretty dirty drop right there. It seems like 99.2 even with that intro.
Yeah, falling behind a lot, but building that up, still getting up there. Lair dropping as well, but on the flip side, that being a little bit more clean, being able to hold his accuracy. But I mean, 2 drops from Russia here is not gonna be great coming into the halfway point of this map.
The overall accuracy for Peru is averaging about like 99.7 plus, and Lyco with this right there. I think no more full combos, I think, on the side of Russia.
Yeah, Russia losing all their full combos, and we can definitely see a little bit of the physicality difference here versus Ego being more that burst, but then this map being more sustained. That stamina game, Russia maybe not being able to hold on to 244 BPM for extended periods of time, whereas Peru being able to handle that quite handedly. I would say still a little bit of the map left, but it looks like Peru is definitely going to be able to take this by a decent margin. Like another drop for the road.
Yeah, at this point it's very clear for Peru right now, and I think it would be safe to assume that I think they would probably go for the addiction after this pick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Because, I mean, Russia having a little bit of confidence after that Ego pick maybe to go Rice.
Triple V1SS.
Wow! Oh my goodness. 2 995s from Peru. That's an insane team score.
I should also mention that this score is coming up from the lower seed, so that V1SS on this is something else.
Yep. Yeah, I mean... This is probably an example of why Russia banned the Court Jack pick, is ratios like that, even if it is a different skill set. You can see a bit of that, accuracy difference on Rice. In live color.
Yeah. Ooh. At this point, I feel like you can't really go wrong with picking like outside of the Rice pick. I don't think addiction or breaking rules is a good idea.
Yeah, and I mean, Peru had a very good showing there, pretty overwhelming on that Rice pick, but I mean, look at the Rice picks. They don't have a lot of wiggle room. I mean, breaking rules kind of fits in a little bit more in with what Ego was kind of considered versus Ram maybe, and then only having, Fiona and MP Addiction rely on in Rice. Outside of that, it's just Hybridella.
Breaking rules is just like you can just make a comparison with Double Helix from last round, and I think that kind of fits the bill on how very tech heavy that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about Peru's game plan here. Like I said, coming in, I mean, it's about what you
Fiona.
pick.
Ooh.
And Russia actually going for the Fiona pick. This is very interesting.
This feels risky to me.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting. I think Russia definitely has more wiggle room than Peru probably does with picks. But I definitely didn't consider Fiona as being one of those that they could default to.
I don't think I've seen I've seen Russia play the Symmetry, and the scores aren't that amazing. I don't think I've seen Set the World on Fire being played either. So Fiona is a bit of a risky side to me, even given how Peru is actually very consistent, mostly in ratio accuracy.
Yeah, though I think you would agree with me in saying that Fiona is a little bit different than the previous stream picks. Maybe fitting in a little bit more in a different skill set that maybe benefits Russia more than the last stream picks did. I'm not sure. It could really go either way.
I guess in terms of how you would structure a stream pick, this is probably the weirdest one that I have actually charted. It just doesn't fit the bill for a consistent stream pick either. It's just varied. Like you almost would call it a dumb pick, honestly.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah. Jumping straight into this, accuracy staying fairly even. Peru just having a little bit of a advantage.
Basically the same intro, and there's no lead whatsoever.
Going straight into it. All these players holding very well. Russia just being like 0.0x ahead.
I have never seen people just get to 99.8 for almost all of the players.
Straight out of it, yeah. Yeah, especially, I mean, this map, it jumps right into it. You don't have a lot of time to, you know, ease your way into the pick, so being able to hold 99.8s straight up is very surprising. I mean, Lyric being the only one really dropping below. Nepco there dropping a little bit below that 99.5. So 2 Russian players.
There's still a lot to go with them or the stream.
The Lalito dropping at the middle section, the worst place to drop here.
There's so much of the chart left. Lurk actually, that's actually 3 misses being dropped. Yeah.
Triple, yeah. Yeah, trading that back, Peru still holding that lead, building up a little bit as Lalito gets close to that 400 combo. And, I mean, having the accuracy advantage as well is just going to shift in their favor. Coming to the last quarter, Russia is definitely not going to want to get a break point, but Dendro dropping there.
It's actually getting a lot closer than I thought. Nepco actually dropping right up there. Oh my god, that's a trade.
Yeah, I think Nepco definitely had to hold there if they wanted to take this pick and not give away a break point.
Oh no, Dendro actually no. That's a trade as well.
Yeah, Henry holding strong for his team.
So does Lyco actually.
More drops, but it seems like Russia is going to lose their point here to Peru.
9.8 thousand, actually a bit of a difference right there. Oh my god, that's a scary move.
Yeah, about 10,000 point difference. I mean, it was really just up to those misses. Lyric maybe not having that triple drop, that really dirty miss. As well as, I mean, Dendro dropping the combo twice in like 2 different spots. You really like to talk about that combo game. Not being able to build that up as well. Yeah, combo game.
1-2-1-2 as a judge.
Nail biter.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I would say this pick doesn't really pay off if you just don't have to. You just don't keep focus and pay attention to how the streams would look like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about it before. I mean, it's a it's a risky Russian pick. It's a Russian pick. Just combine those two.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, really strange. I mean, but there's not a lot of rice left to go, though. I really want to see them dip into that hybrid and LN. I'm kind of confused as to what the game plan is for the rest of this match.
Yeah, Peru has to go with MP Addiction, I think. That's their best pick, I feel like.
Yeah, but then after that's gone, I mean, if they take that, having a 3-1 lead, that momentum is definitely very valuable. It's not something that is trivial and can just be written off. But going to hybrid and LN, I mean, they're so rice specialized, almost.
Yeah, I feel like you can just consider that even with Fiona, their accuracy is pretty much comparable to Russia, and that's saying a lot for being a stream pick. But in this case, Ram doesn't feel like it. And there you go, we got MP Addiction coming in.
Yep. To be expected from Peru. Going with the stamina pick of this pool here. Yeah, clocking in a little bit shorter than last pools, but definitely not shorter in what it expects of you.
Yeah, in a sense, this is stamina, but even though you might be thinking this is 3 minutes and 15, that doesn't look like a stamina at all, but it's non-stop, but you just have breaks here and there, but it's just non-stop at some point.
Yeah, definitely the one fallacy I always hear about stamina picks is, it has to be 4 minutes, 5 minutes to be considered stamina. Stamina picks can be like 2.5 minutes. They can be short. It's just what the map expects of you. It's just depending on what type of, stamina it expects of you. Even like a 2 minute, like we see with Ram, where it's just super, super dense for a long period of time, that can be considered kind of dipping into your stamina, if not a little bit, of that bursty stamina that you get, and then you get a break,
Yeah, absolutely.
get back into it.
This is why you categorize it as mostly just you have a speedier jump straight, but
Yeah.
basically the shortest length, or you just clock in with a little bit on a still a bit dense, but I mean shorter with lower BPM. But this is basically it.
Yeah, Nepco holding a 100% up until 80 combo there. Pretty even for both teams as we get ready to jump into the streams.
Doesn't have the strongest start for Peru, but even, I think it just might have to do with the intro of it though, but I feel like it's gonna change.
Yeah, as players start to stabilize here, everyone seemed to hit that trill fairly well. Lyco dropping a little bit of AC was holding in 99.94, but Larrick dropping so early here, just as we were getting into 600 combo. That's not what you want to see, but dropping early on is not as detrimental, especially in a longer pick like this.
That's gonna be a full point loss there for Lurk, given it's after the 400 combo, but so even then, I think the accuracy is just gonna a little bit declining a little bit there for Russia, and I think Peru has basically a solid average of 99.8 plus, and Nepco finally taking another drop there.
Yeah, I mean, this is Peru's pick. They're going to be expected to hold strong here. That is kind of their game plan, right? Is just get that accuracy. Don't try to push it too much. I mean, Dendro holding a 99.91 though.
That doesn't seem like a pushing too much to me.
Yeah, that's up there for sure.
I mean, it's basically normal to have 99.9 at this point, right? It's just how they just build different.
Yeah, just an average, quarterfinals MWC stamina pick accuracy to have here. Totally normal, nothing out of the ordinary. But I mean, his teammates. We can talk about his teammates backing him up very well, being a pillar. Lolito and Henry being quite close to those 99.8s.
Yeah, not a bad foundation to start with 99.8. Just basically just keeping up there with some of the. I guess you would say Lyco would have the highest accuracy. I think the last full combo for Russia too. So
yeah,
it just comes down to how well you're gonna get at this. Oh, never mind. Actually, just Lyco with the finally dropped it. No more full combos from Russia now.
Yeah, coming to this last quarter, that is really tough. I mean, if we look at error bars, everyone looks kind of similar. I mean, Lolito and Dendro there, you can see getting a little bit out as stamina starts to drain, and Russia was kind of catching up a little bit, but having that drop, and Dendro with the drop actually is going to do a little bit to shift that back onto the blue side. But I don't know if there's enough map left.
Yeah, I feel like it's just gonna stay in that between the lead still, given most of the drops
with
here
the drop.
Russia. Yeah, it's
that
just,
would be the nail in the coffin.
It's just too much for them, yeah.
Yeah. Pulling these FCs out for Peru, Lolito, and Henry. Doing a great job playing together as a team. I mean, accuracy-wise, Dendro was super far ahead, maybe pushed a little bit too much or lost that stamina. Taking a drop, but I mean, the team scores all fairly close. I mean, 993, 994, 991. That's a second Rice pick now where it's been triple 99 zeros and above.
It could have been almost like a second triple V1SS even without the miss and the 200.
Henry and the miss, yeah. Wow. That's dominant. That's very dominant. But again, I mean, reminding the viewers at home, if we look at this Rice pool soon, that was really the last Rice pick.
The less than, yeah.
Yeah, because Breaking Rules is more of a wild card, like weird techie, more in that vein of pick rather than like Ram or MP Addiction or Fiona. That's more simple in what it asks you to do.
Yeah, if you're picking like Breaking Rules, you're basically treading on ice, given how really, like, it's just very risky to play if you're not that consistent.
Yeah, and I mean, I really don't see Russia picking Breaking Rules. I do not see a world in where they don't just go dip into the LN or hybrid pool.
Or even SV, honestly.
Or SV, yeah. And there we go, the LN2 pick. Yeah, and it's we can talk about momentum, right? So the momentum is all in Peru's favor right now. I think Russia definitely should have mitigated that with an LN picker taken away from that Rice early on to try and mix it up. Because now that the momentum's all in Peru's favor, coming into this pick, which should be, you know, in your favor, it's kind of in the air on, you know, what team is going to be able to perform. I think nerves are really going to be a factor here.
Yeah, everyone in Russia is leaving.
Yeah,
just
full
basically
swap out.
Yep.
But Peru is staying strong, I think, in their lineup. I don't know a lot about these players' LN proficiency.
For Peru?
For Peru, yeah. I think, I was going to say, I figured there would be at least one swap out, the 0.
Yeah, the 0 is being
okay, yeah.
For proficient for LN.
Yeah.
So I feel like this swap is no surprise.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah, I think a full new squad for Russia is going to be good here. I mean, all of those players that played through the Rice, their hands are probably dying at this point. Playing all those Rice picks in a row. So having fresh minds, hopefully these players are coming in fairly warm. Hopefully they were playing during the break that they had. Hopping right into this.
I feel like it's important to mention that with this kind of LN density pick, which I think Desperado was trying to do, I guess you can say that this is probably the best pick for Russia right now. Given I don't think like you could go for like LN3 for example. I think it's just way too much in the way you could give away your information about it.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, so Peru left 2 players in, and I had mentioned this during the Canada match, with those players that are very, very proficient in Rice that were playing on hybrid stuff like Piggy and whatever. They're able to handle most of the LN difficulty, but when it started getting too dense, then they started falling behind, so I'm wondering if we're going to see that a little bit from the players who stayed in for the Rice picks, if maybe this density might be a little bit too much. But it seems like that's not the case. I mean, holding fairly decent accuracies when compared to the Russian players.
For now, but I feel like this is not even the hardest.
The hard part,
yet.
yeah, it really picks up here.
There's a little bit of a chance to get a breather room in this break here, but I feel like you can say to mention that the second half of this is kind of backloaded, but it feels like it attests how you can coordinate this very well.
Yeah, and I think that definitely gives to the type of music that Penoreri makes, is these piano epics that have those, you know, little ballad type feelings halfway in. And speaking of that, hopping right into this LN section here after the halfway point, everyone holding combo. I definitely am surprised by everyone holding combo throughout this.
I feel like there's a clear difference given I think I've seen a lot of 200s being dropped from Russia right now. I think they're just gonna dip down to the 99.3 average, and Peru doesn't seem to phase by it. 99.6 on average. No,
the first drop.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think that's the first drop, but I don't think that's gonna dent the lead that much, given the accuracy is very dominant.
Devil trading it, yeah, definitely gonna stay in Peru's favor. Russia needs a lot more than just one drop there from Peru going to this last section here. Seems like Peru's really going to hold this, and I mean momentum. They had the momentum going to this, they took it, they ran with it, putting up very even scores. Other than that, I mean, miss from Dendro. They just need to stay strong all the way to the end. Wow, that section.
This section, Lacrimuch is falling apart from Russia.
Yeah, Peru holding on very well there. I mean, over 50,000 point difference. Their team, fairly even accuracies from each other. In Russia, I mean, falling down to those 99%. That was Russia's pick to win, really. I mean, we were saying that was kind of, they needed to win that to get this momentum back.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like given that could have been a very sick team score from Peru if Dendro doesn't get burnt in the ratio.
Yeah.
I guess in the misses as well.
Yeah, and now maybe, I mean, Peru is in a weird spot. That last race pick being, you know, more of a question mark. Taking a point off on LN, though, being the LN density pick. might give them a little bit more confidence to dip into that LN. But honestly, I see them maybe going with a more Rice-biased hybrid, probably.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Breaker, this is fine, but they could just go with Daisy Cutter just to keep the momentum going with the LNs.
Yeah, Daisy Cutter, being a little bit more wildcard-ish for the LNs at least. Peta being more control, release oriented. They're definitely taking their time to deliberate on this pick, which I think is a good idea. You know, you get 2 minutes, might as well take that. Maybe ice the other team out a little bit so that you can make sure you're not making a bad decision. Which
yeah,
it seems like Peru's been making good picks so far.
Yeah, I feel like it's best to take a tactical timeout or something like that, just to get you relaxed a little bit though.
If I was Russia, I would definitely be wanting to take a timeout to reset that momentum coming in.
Oh, yeah.
But it seems like you're right, going for Daisy Cutter, keeping that LN momentum.
Yeah, but I feel like in this case, if you pick Daisy Cutter, then Russia is pretty much running out of picks just to go for, unless you would go Marinol, which is a different thing altogether.
Which, I mean, they still have room, right? So, I mean, this pick, if Peru takes this, it's match point, right? Backs against the wall, Russia would need to do something out there and take basically every single point after that. I mean, they would only have a couple maps that they could avoid, or one that they could avoid. But Peru's kind of taken points away from Russia on maps that they probably either should have been closer, they maybe should have favored Russia a little bit more.
Oh, this time we're seeing Henry instead of who was it again for the other outfit? I forgot actually.
Oh gosh, I forgot too.
Yeah,
Dendro, Henry, and another player.
We're not good at
Rice.
We're not good at remembering names. So
Short-term memory. Yeah. Short-term memory loss. Hopefully these players don't experience that as well going into this map. Hopefully they've practiced a little bit more, because this is a little bit more technical. It's good to be able to see this and know what the map is going to throw at you beforehand.
It seems like we're settling in with the same roster for Russia as well. Given I think it could have been a little bit different this time. This is not straight up density. It's just buried in this pattern, so I don't think it's gonna cause too much of an issue.
Yeah, Peru holding a little bit of an early lead, but really going anyway once these players start stabilizing out here in the first couple seconds. Going to this first LN section.
Got the intro for
drops
Peru.
from Russia. Yeah, wow, Peru! Oh, look at that! How did they hold accuracy so well throughout this LN? Look at that! Wow, that's really incredible from Peru there.
Yeah, despite what the drop from Namuser though, it's still a very consistent score all around. It's just the ratio by Peru right there.
Wow, Oni-chan dropping in what seemed to be nothing there, and kind of a break section. Maybe lost focus for a second there. Definitely not going to do a lot to help Russia here in this second half.
Yeah, it seems to degrade a little bit in the average team score, but I feel like it's really just comes down to what it seems to be like the misses or the column locks. Like there you go, like Dendro right there, just getting burned from that LNs.
yeah, I mean Peru, and like we were saying, I mean maybe not even being the favorite coming to LN stuff here. They're playing this inverse stuff like it's easy. Holding 99.8s after that first inverse section and that 3-column section. I mean, only Dendro dropping there and still holding really, really good accuracies. This is an unbelievable performance from Peru so far. Closing out here in the very last section.
Yeah, if anything, after that drop, the Dendro just keeps blooming. Like, I have no idea how they did that.
Yeah, I mean, momentum.
Oh my god!
Look at those scores.
The ratios, oh my god!
So close. Peru plays so well as a team together.
Jeez,
yeah, and I mean, what do you have to say about this like match point with the maps that are left after this Daisy Cutter performance?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to do an SV, I guess. But
Yeah, I
I feel
agree.
like it's pretty much like what like you would expect from like LMs, right? You really can't pick the other LM, and you really can't pick breaking rules either. But
Yeah.
there's hybrids, but that is way too risky at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, because Russia's down, they need to win 4 in a row. They're going for so they're going to go for breaking rules. To be fair, I think if they actually want to play for tiebreaker here, they're going to have to win breaking rules. They're going to have to win the SV, and then they're going to have to win some combination of the hybrid or LN. Probably they would go for like 2 of the hybrid to catch up. They're 4 points behind. So like this is a necessary pick here from them. They will have to play this at one point or another. Yeah, I think Russia definitely wants to take a breather.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tight situation right here. Oh, there, yeah. I kept misremembering this. I think Lalito was in the front of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing
there
for Rice for most of it, and then played. Yep. Yeah. Team names. There's so many. There's 6 people on each team. How are we supposed to, memorize all of them?
Yeah.
You can cut us a little slack, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, no, like disrespect really, but I really feel like it's just really bad at remembering hard names.
Yeah, and I think there's also something to be said. We were talking about this a little bit before stream went live too. Is a lot of new players in MWC, a lot of new faces. Even for like some of the stronger teams like USA, seeing some new players. And so, as someone that's been in the scene for a while, you might not recognize a lot of people.
But at least you'll find it like recognizable from like other community tournaments, like 4-digit Mania World Cup or something like that. Yeah, it's just a thing. It's just the thing that you have to memorize.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of viewers that maybe are only tuning in for MWC here, but I mean the tournament circuit year round for Mania. A lot of players, play in some of these like maybe rank restricted tournaments where I mean a lot of these players are probably 4-digit, like lower end accuracy mains and stuff, and you kind of do that as like a feeder, going up into MWC, so you can get your name out there. And so it's really just about looking out for those like 1v1 and like other smaller team tournaments to see who's going to perform at the highest level here in MWC.
Seems like accuracy kind of like leads to nothing. This is scary. The mini jacks, man.
Mini Jack World Cup.
Oh, no, there's Nepco with drops as well. Yep.
Yeah, Lyric dropping 2, and Nepco dropping 1 there. Russia falling very far behind early on. Peru, I mean, I keep saying it, momentum. Peru just has so much going to this. They're feeling very strong, but Lolito actually, after being swapped in, is going to take the first drop for Peru.
It's not gonna cut much given how the drop itself, the accuracy is still pretty strong. Lyric taking another drop right there.
Yeah, Peru's feeling very strong in here. They want to take this, they want to take Russia out of the tournament and move on to next week. That's what they're looking at right now. They have their eyes set on the big prize.
Yeah, this music's so good, so I can see why
this map is so rough.
Actually, this is very rough for Lyric right now.
Yeah. It's like, because it's not like the other Rice picks that are like super dense, like visually and whatever. This just throws so much weird stuff at you. Like sessions like this kind of, where it's just easy, like, slow streams. But Lolito actually still missing even on that.
Oh, twice!
I was gonna say going to bursts. There is definitely just not enough map left.
Yeah, that's not gonna be nearly enough to let lead. Although it just trades it up with Lurk, but that is it. That is going to be 6-1. Peru wins over Russia. That is a very clean team score with Dendro finally taking the win for V1SS there on the MVP.
Yeah, Peru here coming to perform. There's just not a lot I can say past that. They played so well. And not to take anything away from Russia either, because Russia was putting up insane scores that would take out a lot of other teams in this tournament. But Peru really just looking at each other to keep, at third player strong. They played well together as a team. Their scores, I think this is the only Rice pick where really any of their players fell too far behind each other.
And this
so really great.
Note to the opponent who are actually going to face Peru right now, their Rice is a force to be reckoned with.
Yes.
That's a say for sure.
Yeah, Peru's a Rice powerhouse to contest even the strongest teams in this tournament right now. And we saw that here today, certainly. And so something that we definitely need to get out of the way here. Great win for Peru. However, if you want to support these teams that are moving on in this tournament, you can do it in two ways. First of all, I'd like to point you guys towards the community-funded pool. Mania World Cup 4Key this year in 2022 started out with a baseline of $2,000. However, if you have some change that you'd like to donate to put into the pockets of the players that go far in this tournament, you can do that. All of the money that you donate to the community pool goes straight to the players. No one else takes any of it. And on top of that, Mifo, what else can you do?
Yeah, absolutely. There is another way that you can support, and which is buying your favorite team banners, and which is there's live and also in Osa's store, and you can purchase your favorite team banners just to take up support for your team and also for your favorite countries as well. And I feel like I should also mention that if you have purchased the team banners that are winning for the tournament for this year, which is Oceania 4K World Cup 2022, you get to keep the banner even longer than after the tournament finishes.
Yep.
And that is pretty much it with the support. And I feel like these countries and these teams deserve your support.
Yep, certainly. And I mean, coming to this, we only have a couple matches left in quarterfinals. It's starting to whittle down. I mean, the teams are less and less every week. All these teams are seeming so strong now. But I'd like to point you to the upcoming matches. We have Chile versus Australia, followed closely by South Korea versus USA. Definitely not one to miss. And then rounding out the rest of the week, we'll have Malaysia versus Japan. And then as the final match of the weekend, we'll have Philippines versus the UK, Great Britain.
Yeah. I also like to mention that this is not the final 4 matches. I would also mention that we'll still have another loose bracket matches, which is
conditionals.
Yep. Conditionals, yep. We got the face win, which whatever which has Peru, and we also have Canada, and we also have Vietnam, and we also have China as well. I think it was as well as France, really. So it really comes down to whatever the matches are gonna start and scheduled with, and I think this will be updated after the time goes on. So we really prepared for those matches as well, and I feel like they should get a deserved mention as well.
Certainly. Yeah, and we'll make sure that we keep track of those and let everyone know which matches are going to happen depending on who wins these upcoming tournaments. But I suppose apart from that, not much we're left to say. So we can sign off here. Make sure to tune in 9 hours from now for that Chile versus Australian match. And we will see you there.
Yeah, Mifa and Orca, we're signing off for the day.
Goodbye.